Mm-hmm. Okay, hang out on Arrows Live.
We did it.
We've done it.
That Trent Reznor's real name is Michael. His middle name is Trent.
Michael Rezner?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from the Twitch right now.
Is his last name actually Rezner?
I'm going to look that up right now because maybe he just played a lot of Super Mario World.
I heard that Rezner and that was named after him. But Mario World came out, to my knowledge, before Hanging Out on Arrows Live.
We did it.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, it's weird. Okay.
Right.
So yes, his last name is Rezner.
Okay.
It's Michael Trent Rezner.
Michael Trent Rezner.
Which I can empathize with because there are too many Michaels in the world.
There's a lot of Johns too, but I still go by John. There's also a lot of Andrews in the world. So
yeah, Chris's.
Just L?
Yeah, just L. I know there's a lot of Ellies.
There's a lot of L's. I don't know about L. I don't hear a lot of L.
Okay.
Yeah, I can think of like the magazine.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
El Biv DeVoe.
Oh yeah, Elv.
The wife of Belle Biv DeVoe, the group.
Yeah, she married all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She married all of them.
all the DeVoes.
One's the next.
Oh, Mr. DeVoe.
How great would it be if it was Belle Biv DeVoe and Willem Dafoe was the third member of the group?
Oh, what if he was just all three of them?
Just having like a split personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting theory.
It always drove me nuts because I never understood the name Willem.
Mm-hmm.
William is the name that I understand.
Yeah.
Like, Willem, I think somebody messed up.
Right.
No, I first messed up.
Yeah.
When you said it, I was like, does he mean William?
Yes, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yep. I like him though. He's a great actor, and that's a pretty cool name because it's pretty unique.
I think you could make a unique because people try and go overboard with the unique children names these days.
Yeah.
You know, where they're like Parsimon or
just name them after various plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you just took regular names and removed a pronounced letter to make it slightly different.
Right. Yeah.
But someone's like, "Hi, you know, what's your name?" And you're like, "I'm Ja." I'm like, "John?" Like, no, Ja.
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 Yeah. Or like, I was thinking like a washing machine, but you just change it to washing, but you change it to like weshing, and suddenly you have like a kid who lives in like Oakland.
Yeah.
You know? Weshing.
What do you do if your name is only one syllable?
Well, John is only one syllable. You just remove a consonant or even a vowel if you want. You can just be Jin.
That's true. Jin, and it becomes like Nordic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ken says there's many Johns and Janes, but I am Sancho. Ronnie says there aren't a lot of Ronnies in the world, but a lot of people who spell my name as Ronnie. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, then he actually he mistyped it. So he meant Ronnie, but he spelled it correctly the first time. Whole lot of milk. And then Shathade, my favorite name I've come across in the world.
Shathid. She can jump across the street.
Jump across the street. I can only count to 6.
What the heck? Come after 6?
I feel like I have a video I might need to share with you, Michael. We're done. Anyway, it's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, I moved.
You moved. I've been off of Facebook, only for like a week though. But I've just been so busy that I haven't even really been on Facebook during that time, like a lot, just here and there. And now I'm working on concentrating on like a bunch of really important things throughout the month. And yeah, you got moved into your new place. How is it?
It's great. I'm in my office/studio right now, which is full of just junk, just lots of junk. I've been sitting on the floor with my back to a giant cardboard box until yesterday when I put this desk up. And it's not even the desk that I'm going to keep. I'm going to bring in a new old desk and put it over on the other side of the room, which means I'm probably going to move these posters. Fuck it. I don't know.
Yeah, something will happen.
Moving
Yeah.
is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb.
It is dumb. But you have a bigger area, bigger house, bigger just everything. Everything's good?
Everything's, yeah, it's really great, actually.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Also, my bronchitis is another reason why we haven't been doing this. I've been sick for like the last month and a half.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have been sick.
And that seems to be finally clearing up, but I also need to go in for like 4 more doctor's appointments this month anyways, so.
You should just play Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus.
You know what, though? That game has nothing to do with bronchitis.
Wait.
Why?
It's a game about asthma.
So it's like, it's sort of, Huh.
Because the lungs, you have if your lungs twitch, you have a bronchiospasm, or you have like bronchial tubes that carry air. So that's the medical terminology for that
Makes
fucking
sense.
terrible game.
Yeah, it is. It is. By the way, this is you met her last month when we were
I
out
have.
at the convention. This is Elle, who that's not her real name, but it's Elle. I mean, it's Ellen.
Oh,
It's not Elle. It's not even close. Yeah, so don't. It's not short for Ellen. It's Elle. ELLE, not like the letter L, like as in like the show
oh
where
God,
the kid sits
I
in the
hate
chair
that
and
so
writes
much.
the notebooks and then gets killed. I don't know.
Death Note?
That's yeah.
Okay.
Captain Novelin is still the worst medical game.
The worst medical game?
ELL?
El like el cabrón,
El queso.
el queso.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Captain Novelin's not so good. I'm trying to think of if you had to choose the worst medical, because there's Packy and Marlin.
Yeah.
That's about diabetes, right?
I want to say it's diabetes, but isn't Captain Novelin also diabetes?
Oh, maybe he is. What is Packy and Marlin about? Maybe it's the opposing companies, the opposing diabetic medicine.
They were like, shit, they're making these games about diabetes. We got to get on board with this.
That just makes me sad.
What they are, like, yeah, they're these games that sort of raise an awareness. So, like, they're educational kind of games, but there's still, like, a gameplay element, but programmed really poorly. But, like, between levels, they do trivia that's like, you beat the level, and he goes, how many, ticks in the hypodermic needle do you have to pop into your arm to not die from sugar or whatever? And then you have to answer, and then you go on to the next level. So it's, like, really crummy medical trivia
That doesn't sound fun.
while you're playing a video game.
Then again, I don't think a game about diabetes would be fun.
No,
It's not a very fun subject, so...
that's true. It might be fun to some people who love eating sugars and shooting into their arm, shooting insulin. I don't know.
Grandma.
Grandma?
Grandma.
Grandma?
Yeah.
Does your grandma love that?
She did.
She loves shooting insulin?
Yeah. It was bad.
Yes. So Captain Novelin's for diabetes. So what's Packy and Marlin about?
I think it's just for like juvenile diabetes, like extra sad diabetes.
That's
Extra
really sad.
sad
Yeah, if you're a baby who got diabetes.
Yeah,
Game.
diabetes.
Diabetes. There's Rex Ronan, experimental surgeon.
Yep.
And that one's about like you go to like this guy's mouth who is like a heavy smoker, and you have to blast all like the tar and tobacco from his lungs and his like heart and arteries and teeth. You blast all the smoking plaque off his teeth with a laser. I'd beat that one. Actually, you know what? Here's the thing.
That doesn't sound that bad, though.
I mean, it's not a fun game. That's the problem. Is like it's premise aside for any of these, none of them are exceptionally like enjoyable just games. So even if they had no medical history, they're just games that were programmed very mediocrely. Yeah, there's nothing.
Are there any that are fun? Because these sound terrible.
Not like because these ones are actually made like in partnership with companies like Novo Nordisk that make actual pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
There are games about doctors like Trauma Center that are pretty fun.
Trauma Center is good, yeah, and that's
Or Surgeon Simulator,
That's
loosely speaking.
be a little bit
They're
more.
good, though.
Actually, Surgeon Simulator is terrific. I'll probably have
Yeah.
you play it here in a little bit because, well, I'll show it to you. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
But Trauma Center, that for a moment is grounded in reality, and it's a DS game. Like you do surgeries on people with a stylus, and it's a lot of fun. Then it gets to the point where you can like draw like these not hexagons. I was gonna say like pentagrams or something in a slow.
Yeah, it's like a yeah. You draw a pentagram. It slows down time and it helps you destroy like
Satan comes in a nurse's outfit.
Yeah.
With a scalpel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scalpel.
Scalpel. I always said scalpel. Is that not correct?
It's a scalpel, but I mean scalpel's fine.
I'm going to continue to say scalpel.
It's none of my business. That's totally fine. I got no problem with that.
so you could name a kid Scalpel.
Oh, you totally could.
Ew.
People be like, Scalpel? I'm like, no, his name's Scalpel. Yeah, what does he do? I don't know, he just basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention.
I don't know. Yeah, I heard him mention basketball once.
So there's like a Y in it? Scalpel.
Scalpel.
I don't know how to say this.
Like the Alpha scalpel?
Yeah.
SCALPAL?
That's weird. You
Yeah.
say scalpel.
Scalpel. Cutty thing.
Yeah.
Is what Ken says, which that's.
Close enough.
Yep. I've always had like a fascination too with medical games because when I was little, I used to play Life or Death on the computer all the time. And it was absolutely one of my favorite computer games because, well, there's two things. Number one, it's a lot of fun to try to do it right. But as a kid, when you're just into like, you cut some dude's chest open and you can just stab him with a scalpel, like, and then they proclaim malpractice and then you lose and you have to try it again.
Oh. And
they were fun because, I mean, honestly, you had to go in, you had to, create the suture, you had to open that properly, you had to, like, do a lot of things. I don't know how accurate they were, but you had to, like, take, like, these cotton swabs and stop the bleeding, and you had to make sure the heart wasn't, pumping blood too fast. You have to give, like, these injections to slow it down, and you have to, like, keep track of a whole bunch of things to make sure you're doing these surgeries properly. And if you did it right, it was actually fairly rewarding because they're not easy games. I don't know. As a kid, they weren't, and I haven't played them since then. So I don't know. Did you ever play any of those?
No.
No.
No. You know what I'm thinking of though is Theme Hospital, which is a funny name for because like there's Sim City and like Sim Ant and Sim Farm, and so then Bullfrog made Theme Park, and then they're like, we should do Theme Park again, but with a hospital. And the name they chose was Theme Hospital, which sounds like a place where you can get surgery from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
How do you go from theme park to hospital, though? That seems like a fairly depressing jump.
Well, considering that most people who play games about building theme parks tend to send a roller coaster flying off the rails into a crowd of people, it's actually a very logical progression.
Yeah, they're like, how can you hurt more people in like a more interesting environment?
No, I can see it now.
Yeah. Well, we were discussing Zoo Tycoon and how it's important that you can open up all the cages and let the animals eat people to death.
Yeah.
Because, like, what we were discussing, there's no point in making a God game where you can't go the other direction. It's very important.
It's true.
That's why I like playing black and white.
Yeah.
Because you can just be a terrible God.
Yeah, bad God.
Rate my God.
Rate my God. A Yelp review.
Pimp my God. I feel like a lot of contemporary churches do things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sent me a link, I believe, to like the roller coaster game that was all super physics based.
Yes.
You could launch roller coasters and the crowds of people and their bodies go flying everywhere.
Yep.
And all full glorious 3D and bodies are bouncing off each other.
That sounds so fun.
It looks pretty terrific. That's fairly soon. A couple months.
Yeah. Planet Coaster is the game. It comes out. There's an alpha weekend this weekend, actually.
Oh, that's fun.
If you pre-order, you can play for the next 4 days, and then beta's in November.
Okay.
But yeah, they kind of mentioned like they hadn't said anything about it, and then they're like, okay, look, we know that if you're gonna build a roller coaster that's going to, and usually in these games they just kind of let the roller coaster fly away and like, maybe it explodes or maybe it disappears or they they don't really make a big deal out of like the fact that you just killed a bunch of people. And this game was just like, no, fuck it. And they show like the roller coaster going through the crowds, like parting it like a knife through hot oil.
Yeah.
Just sending people everywhere.
That's way like more like hot butter is one thing, right? But hot oil, like that is complete separation. Like
there's no give.
Yeah,
life is just going.
There's actually no resistance at all. Once you watch the roller coaster, it's literally like you're hitting there's zero friction. Everything in your way just flies.
That appeals to a very sadistic part of me that just never gets anything. So
this is the human nature.
I want that.
I think people secretly, I don't want to actually watch a roller coaster feel people die, but in this game, it feels very satisfying.
No, of course not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people I'm sure do, but
some people like do die, or they want to see others die.
Want, and I guess do. I think most people actually die.
Well, I mean, like in roller coasters, so if you're 99 years old and they're like, well, he's about done, like they just launch you off a roller coaster.
That's a good way to go.
I think so.
As long as it's quick.
And you die in the air, and then they parachute you slowly into either the sea or a coffin.
The sea or a coffin.
Oh, because if you hit the coffin, like cool, we've already taken care of this. But if you like get launched into the sea,
care of this.
then like that actually
saves
expenses, and you can just
But what if you like wash up on land?
Crabs will eat you eventually.
There's children, John.
Well, there's children even if they don't get eaten by crabs.
No, but would you rather be a child that sees that someone's being eaten by crabs? Like,
Okay, so what they do is
witnesses
on the roller coaster, they launch you up in the air in your coffin, but they leave holes small enough
that crabs can
crabs
go,
can get in and eat
oh.
you discreetly. Or if your coffin lands like in the...
So it's like a little buffet for crabs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know like, what kind of variety there. By the way,
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you something. I made a mistake today.
Uh-huh.
And like it was after 25 years of not remembering. But the number one best way to know why you should not go to Furs is to go to Furs buffet
It's so bad.
and then eat their food.
Yeah.
Because like I remember going there as a kid and like getting rolls and Jello and chicken wings and like ice cream and stuff. And then she messaged me today. She's like, "I'm really hungry. I want a buffet." And I was like, "Oh well, Furs is right down the road from the store." So I was totally unaware that like I knew it was like not a good place, but I did not realize the decline that it had undertaken.
The beans.
The beans literally looked like someone had just unearthed like a bunch of like clay with grass in it and put it in a tray.
And then dehydrated it.
Yeah.
It was really
I was
bad.
going to take a picture and I totally forgot, and it looked unbelievably bad.
There was like this apple cinnamon dumpling, and it looked like a fish's stomach.
Yeah. It was the most unappealing everything I'd ever seen.
Oh god, and the old woman was just guarding our table.
There's an old woman guarding our table.
She did not leave.
Was she facing in or out?
She was facing out.
Okay, so she was guarding you from the rest of the restaurant.
Other consumers. Well, she was guarding us from the table at first, and then Elle had to sort of like get around her to sit down in her spot, and the woman just kept standing there, making sure nobody came to attack us, I guess.
That's quality security.
Light.
It was pretty nice. Yeah, I don't think she could have taken anybody, but it was nice of her to try, I guess.
The place is just really depressing to be in.
And the amount of money that place actually costs, too. It's $8.99 for the all-you-can-eat buffet, and then she's like, "Do you want a drink?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, lemonade." And then my total went to like $12.50, and I was like, "Wait a second." And so all-you-can-eat buffet does not come with a drink.
That's true, actually. Most all-you-can-eat buffets, I think. Well, no, that's not true. But I have been to many buffets that they really upcharge the drink because they know you're going to get one. If you're going to be tasked with eating as much food as you can, as the title implies,
To eat that much.
That's 'cause we wanted to
It was
leave.
just so
Yeah.
depressing.
But that's true. But it, like as a theoretical, I suppose it makes sense for them to really capitalize on the fact that yep, you're going to want this too.
we don't have a Furs anymore. Our Furs closed down. And
Yeah.
the Chinese buffet across the street moved in and now boasts the largest Chinese buffet in the state of New Mexico.
Really, the largest, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. What do they have?
I don't know. I've never been there because Aaron hates buffets, so I can never get her to go.
Okay. Well, if I come down there, can we go?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been told, I don't know how legal this is because I think I was told to keep this hush-hush, but I have been told from people who seem like they would know that the Chinese buffet here in Las Cruces is actually a front for bringing over undocumented Chinese citizens into America and giving them a work history so that they can get a visa.
Okay.
Like they all live together in a house. The guy who owns the buffet like shacks them all up in one house, and they have to work for him. Like it sounds like both good and sketchy. Where like they have to work for him for a certain amount of time, and then he can get them naturalized or whatever.
Do they shack up in the old location that was across the street?
There's nothing there right now. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking.
Detective skills.
See? Yeah, no, I played at Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, which used to be a Johnny Carino's.
Phoenix Wright?
Yeah.
It used to be the Italian version of the game before they localized it. Okay, so yeah, Ken confirms this is the real deal. I never really thought about it much, but I suppose it totally makes sense. But, okay. I get you. Happens all over the country.
Now you know.
Every day. So if you're
Hundreds
eating,
and millions of Asians.
if you're eating at a Chinese buffet, you are helping people get baptized by the bald eagles
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And eating Chinese food.
and getting Chinese food for your own self.
Mhm.
Everybody wins.
I think that's how all immigration should work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Do you want to migrate?
Where?
All you have to do is open an American restaurant in a country of your choice.
Yeah, the Philippines. There's Pizza Bar.
Burger Joe's.
Yeah.
burgers and like chicken wings.
Yeah.
Just all comfort food.
Yes, macaroni ice cream.
I think anything on an appetizers menu qualifies as American. Like, I don't think
Mozzarella
sticks. Exactly what I was
Oh,
thinking.
I love mozzarella sticks.
I think it's a fair assumption.
because there's like tapas, but that's different. Like it is, you don't get like loaded potato flautas with bacon and chives and sour cream.
Yeah, no, that's. God, I wish I liked potatoes because a lot of potato stuff looks so appetizing, but I gag so much.
How many different ways have you tried to eat a potato?
At least 10.
Scallops?
Don't like scalloped potatoes. I basically thin to medium, like McDonald's French fries are optimal.
Well, those aren't potatoes.
Correct. That's why I like them. So
Okay,
they're
like what about like sweet potatoes?
sweet potato fries. I'll do.
Okay, but what about just like a baked sweet potato?
I would gag.
Okay.
It's all about like the hits the reflex in a way because the it's too mushy. Like if they put like potatoes in my burrito,
Yeah, because you also don't like creamed corn.
I don't like cream corn
So
or beans.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Just
All
like a
texture.
textural thing.
Yeah, because I like
that way with tomatoes.
don't like the texture of tomatoes.
I hate it. It's like it's slimy and it's slippery, and I don't understand why.
I like tomatoes. I don't like onions.
I do like onions.
I
like
used to hate onions purely for the texture, and now I'm addicted to onions.
I crave
Well,
them,
like the
yeah.
texture doesn't bother me. It's like the sound of a raw onion.
Like
Hitting someone in the head.
when you boil them, they scream.
No, it's like okay, so you know like McDonald's burgers how they like chop up the onions really fine in
Yeah.
like little cubes. When you bite it, you can hear like every crunch in your ear, and it kills me.
I like that.
I hate it so much.
Like diced onions. I just want to eat diced onions.
No, because I like
What
onion rings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what about like a sautéed onion, like something that's made
That's
small?
fine if it's cooked. I'm fine.
That's
But
fair.
like crunchy onion is the worst.
I just want to crunch them all day.
Have you tried eating a raw potato, John? Because the texture is very different.
Ew.
I feel as if I'd rather die, but I have not. Actually,
I've done it.
eat it like an apple, or like
Yeah, you eat it like an apple, and it tastes. It has the same. It has the exact same sound and consistency as an apple would. The difference is that it tastes like it's filled with sand.
And
that's
probably
not
like,
zero
dirt.
appeal in that to me. You know what? I'll try it though. I'll try it for you. I'll even like film it to prove that I tried this. But
I say mushrooms.
a sandy apple does not sound like something I want to eat.
But then again, like the yellow apples are like grainier than like the green.
I just want a red apple, just Granny Smith.
See, I don't really like red apples. I like green apples and only green apples.
I like red chili instead of red apples. Wait, instead of well, I like green chili too.
I prefer green chili to red.
Imagine pouring red chili all over your tapas.
Imagine pouring red chili over a red apple.
I'd eat that.
Chili apple.
Chili apple, yeah, chapel.
Mark Chapman.
Mark Chapel.
Apple.
Chapel. Okay.
Bring me my chapel nurse.
Right, chapel. So, there's been rumblings in the world of gaming recently.
Yeah, a lot of earthquakes.
A lot of earthquakes. Yeah, there's a 7.0 the other day in Ubisoft land.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, poor Jade Raymond got eaten by the earthquake shark.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jade. So what do we got? We've got Skyrim HD is coming out in a couple weeks. We have a Pokemon demo coming out in 2 weeks. Paper Mario Color Splash is hitting in 2 days.
Unless you pre-ordered it digitally.
And you get it like a week and a half ago. Which is interesting.
It sounds like it was an accident, but good on Nintendo for not being like, oh, turn that off.
Yeah.
Which again, it's one of those things. I think the last time we podcasted, this came up again too. It's one of those things where it's like, is Nintendo being nice, or are they just really bad at this?
That's a good question. Yeah, it seems like just a mishap in the switcheroo or whatever. Bill Trinan walks in there and he trips over a cord and knocks something with his shoulder, and Paper Mario is enabled for everybody. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you watched Bill Trinan.
Yeah, he tripped and then he bumped something with his shoulder.
Okay, so it's verified.
Yeah.
There was a lot of speculation on my part, but now it's been confirmed.
I'm glad I could clear that up.
Yeah. But you know what I really like about this game's also been getting like a lot of flack because people are under the assumption that they didn't like it because it's not just the 1,000-year door with better graphics.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been hearing a lot of really, really good things about the game, especially that it's got the best writing bar none of the series.
Which is, it's A, saying a lot, but B, like, I think Paper Mario's writing is one of the top 3 reasons you would play a Paper Mario game.
Easily. And if that's, one of the highlights of the game, then, like, there's no reason not to play it. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but I really want to try it.
I haven't kept up. I played Paper Mario. Okay, so the order that I did things was I played Super Paper Mario first. And then I went back and played the first one in 1,000-Year Door.
Okay.
And those are way better than Super Paper Mario is. Like, Super Paper Mario felt kind of like a letdown, and then after playing the first, I was like, no, it is a letdown.
Okay, yeah, comparatively, it's just not the same. I like the game, but it's totally different and just not, it doesn't have the same panache.
Yeah. And then what, Sticker Star was after that.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone really likes Sticker Star.
Very few people. It's a really small minority. And I'm glad that people did. I'm very glad people could find joy. Did you try that one?
No.
It felt, the combat did not feel necessary in any way. Because you gain virtually nothing from doing it, and you just lose, like, your attacks. So it's kind of like playing Final Fantasy Advance, or not Advance, Final Fantasy, like, Legend, where you have a finite amount of attacks, but there's no benefit to really fighting. You can just run away, and I guess you lose coins, but you're also not spending coins replenishing your attacks over and over and over.
That's fair.
So it felt like I didn't care to be. It looked great and it was like fun to play through and explore the worlds and it had a neat layout. But every random battle I felt just was completely a waste of time, and that made me sad.
Was there another Paper Mario after Sticker Star? I know there's Paper Jam, but I think that's a Mario and Luigi game.
Oh, it's more like Mario and Luigi, but it's sort of like a mixture. But yeah, it's Mario and Luigi in base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I, like, Color Splash had heard the title, and I was like, okay, well, I'm, like, at this point, I'm not invested in the Paper Mario series.
Sure.
Like, a mediocre game and what it sounds like a complete clunker, and I'm just like, okay, like, if I hear good things again, then I'll get back in, but I don't need to keep up with this. Mm-hmm. And I saw the video that Nintendo put out maybe a month or two ago that showed off the power cards that uses the real-world items.
Yeah.
And immediately, it was like a 2-minute video, but like the sense of humor, and I touched on this on a stream yesterday, where like a sense of humor, if a game has one, I would rather play an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 that has an identity and its own sense of character and understanding of itself, than I would rather play like a game that is foundationally perfect, but is just sort of any other game.
What's funny about that is that's the Metroid series to the T. Is a game that is almost expressionless in terms of like character charisma, but it offers so much. And the one sense of humor, I think I've mentioned this like 100 times, is in Metroid Prime 1, you fight like that big like golem boss in like the snow area, the Finjana Drifts, and it explodes, and a rock hits Samus in the back of the head, and she sort of like bonks forward. And to me, that was the weirdest thing, because any other game I'd be like, oh yeah, that's funny, but in Metroid, it's like, that's really strange.
Yeah.
Because they just don't do that. The game does not carry with it a sense of humor in any way. But I agree, humor is almost fundamentally one of the most important things. I mean, Konami, Metal Gear, even Castlevania has a weird sense of humor, sort of subtly scattered about. But I think it's extremely important.
Metal Gear is just funny in general.
It is. Everything about
like even really serious scenes are funny.
Yeah, you can go into first person and watch Snake check out a butt while you're discussing like the nuclear wars. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Give you levity at like all times. Okay, so humor is foundationally something you almost require.
Yeah, and obviously it's one game's sense of humor might not be my sense of humor.
Right.
Like I feel as many good things as I've heard, like I'm wary about playing Stick of Truth or The Fractured But Whole, because like while I do like South Park, I don't think I like 20 hours of South Park. I
am on the same page.
I can completely agree with that.
Yeah, because they're funny, but it's funny because it's like 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Of something happening as opposed to, yes, like you said. And if I took it, in chunks, if it was almost episodic, which I know would be a huge cry against humanity in the gaming world, it might be more palatable for me. Because I played a bit of Stick of Truth, and I really enjoyed it. but I only played like an hour and a half, and then I stopped because something else happened, and I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to go back and finish it. But I want to. I just I'm also a little bit trepidatious about exactly how you presented it.
Yeah, I finished it, but I was also like, it's too much South Park.
It was a lot.
It's a lot.
That's fair. What are some of your prime sense of humor games? Some of the biggest ones?
Earthbound, of course, is one of the most easily citable examples.
So good.
Hear
that sense of humor.
One of the ones that I was playing yesterday on stream was Roundabout, which if you haven't played it, I really recommend. It's basically
like Kururin.
Yeah, where you just play a rotating limousine driver.
Yes, okay.
And it's full of live action acting that is intentionally awkward.
Good.
Like all the lines are delivered like very oddly or like very flatly, and there's just like weird things that people will say. And usually books and games, those are the two things that if they're funny, that makes me like them that much more. But even if they're funny, I don't normally like audibly laugh at them. And Roundabout caught me at a point where like someone just said something as I was driving by them, and I was just like, "Bleh," and it got me.
That's important. If a game can surprise me like that to the point of like an audible guffaw, that's valuable. That's invaluable. That'll make me
invaluable.
It's unvaluable. There's no value in it.
Yeah.
I think that only usually happens if there's like a funny glitch that happens, and then I'll like audibly laugh. But most of the time it's just like a chuckle. It's like an intentionally funny joke.
That's fair. I'm trying to think of the last game that really did make me like laugh.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to think of.
Without glitching or
without glitching, just purposeful presentation. The Cave might have.
The Cave has a lot of good dialogue.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Day of the Tentacle, I think, still makes me laugh at a lot of parts.
Yeah, Monkey Island is one that like. Mechanically, it's just another point and click game, but the writing, Space Quest is another one that I cite often as like, that was the first game I think I ever played that tried to be funny. There are also moments in games like, and it's important to differentiate. Like, it's hard to figure out when a game is trying to be funny and when it's just so tonally like not in line with common sense.
Yeah,
like in playing like Deja Vu on the Nintendo, and like an old fat lady comes up to you on the street and just punches you in the face. And you're just like, wait, is that supposed to be funny, or am I being like a creeper dick right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's. I think there's almost something enjoyable about that too. Is trying to figure out, did I miss something?
No, I had a moment like that when I was playing Memoria. It was like a point and click game with one of my friend's parents, and there's like a part where this like angel is on a cloud, and she's talking. He's just like, under this robe, I have baby legs. And I was laughing for like 10 minutes, but I don't think it was supposed to be funny. I think it was supposed to be like a really serious tone to the story, and I just started
who knows?
Crying.
Do you think the angel has the legs of a baby, or like a watch salesman on the street? Like she opens the robe and there's just baby legs dangling.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, like, hey kid, you want to buy a pair?
Yeah.
Baby legs.
Games that do actually make me laugh. Rhythm Heaven actually has had a couple things, because the WarioWare team, but it made me think of WarioWare, which there's been several mini games in there that have actually like totally taken me off guard, and I think some of those are really, really good. Because aside from point and click games, I don't think there's a lot that make me really laugh. But I feel like the WarioWare games, like the unexpectedness of some of the mini games. I remember one in WarioWare Twisted where you have to rotate your Game Boy and you have to shine a beam of light into a demon that's trying to capture these kids at sunset. For some reason, that got me.
I liked in Smooth Moves the narrator for all the different poses.
Yeah, he was so sensual and
Sensual.
Yeah, because like they talk about like the weird modes we use in the game, right?
Yeah.
They call it the form baton, and every time like you have like a new pose with it, he speaks like in a really calm.
Yeah, he's like, this is the way a taxi cab driver discusses politics with his children.
Yeah,
like, very much that kind of delivery.
Very much, yeah. Take
the
form baton and place your thumb gently on the top, as if you are shaking a bottle of champagne, while Your mother is giving you a hand. I don't know. Like it's not dirty, but like it's really.
But you made it dirty.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, humor is a pretty integral part of most of my gaming experiences. And this is, I think, why I like the Mega Man games. Is when I was younger and I saw them, going for bosses that they started choosing, I was like, ugh, I'm so beyond that. But then once Mega Man 9 and 10 hit, I was like, they're just having fun, and I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
So after a while, it's like, they're trying too hard. It's like, no, they're trying to be ridiculous. Strike Man, just a baseball. He throws baseballs at you. Sheep Man, just electric sheep. He's stuck in his level's like a big inside of a computer.
Do you think they're happy?
The Robot Masters?
Yeah.
Some of them. I don't think all of them.
Before or after Mega Man kills them?
Like before, do you think they're like content with what they're doing?
Or do you think
There are some, because they gave a couple of them voice actors at one point, and they sound very unhappy.
That's true.
Some sound happy and some sound very unhappy.
Yeah, Astro Man seems like he really just wants to die.
It sounds terrible. Like if you're just stuck in a computer all day as a sheep.
That's Second Life.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't sound very fun.
I want you to hear Astro Man.
If you can get Search Man too, I think Search Man is another great example.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be unhappy too if I was constantly searching.
That's true.
You never can.
So existential.
Exactly. What is he searching for? All right, let's see. I don't know if it has his voice in here versus the music. Nope. So the file says I'm Astro Man, but all right, I'm just gonna look under Google. Maybe somebody has the sound bite because they do sound. Now that you mention it, yeah, Mega Man 8, all the bosses do sound extremely depressed.
Did everyone know, did he not think about that when he made them? Just they should be happy too?
That might have been his thing. It's very much like a iRobot kind of thing where he created them and he gave them life, but it wasn't a life that they asked for, And then he still keeps them sort of confined and caged to do his bidding.
Yeah, because what if they don't want to do what they're made to do?
They probably don't.
It's really sad.
That is sad. Yeah, I think. Well, I'll play the Astro Man thing at some point later. But the idea that Radon brought up of after you kill them, do you think they seek release, and they're content? Because some of them, I'm sure, Metal Man's probably pretty cool doing his thing because he's like, I got this right. I've got easily the best weapon in the whole series. I'm going to kill anything. But then Flash Man just sort of he stares at you with these dead eyes and just keeps walking towards you, probably in the hopes that he'll die.
Do you think they live on?
Back. If you want to die, you just let it happen.
Flash Man kind of just lets it happen.
Well, then he probably wanted to die.
Probably.
Because I remember in high school when I'd play dodgeball, I'd purposely tell someone on the other team to hit me because I didn't want to play.
That's the fallacy of phys ed dodgeball is you give kids an opt-out clause. So if I get hit by the ball, I don't have to do anything. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Whereas if you're playing soccer or baseball, you don't have a choice but to be in there.
Yeah.
I guess it's nice when you're on the batting team because you just have to wait for several innings before anything actually happens with you.
Yep.
And then once you hit the ball, you stand there until something else happens. And if you get tagged, you're out. Baseball's one of the only good ones. Basketball, you have to be active and
running in basketball.
Yeah, elementary school high lie was always really tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, base jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Another really awesome one is roller derby. You can't not.
Well, yeah, you will if you stop in roller derby, you're gonna get clothesline.
Yeah, exactly. They will rip you in half. Ronnie says, then you'd find out in Japan that Flash Man's actual name was Suicide Man, which it essentially was. He just jumps towards you until you kill him. I'll show him to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
he's very gentle. He's one of the gentlest robot masters.
Then there you go, Suicide Man. But then again, even if that's his purpose, is he happy doing that?
Yeah, he was built to kill himself.
He was, and once he fulfills the objective, then like a tear falls down his face as he's exploding.
There you go. So is he really happy with his job? If he's like, I'm going to commit suicide today, and that makes me really happy.
Well, that's in the hopes that the player can actually get there. Because he probably sits in his room a lot while like a bunch of kids who've never played Mega Man before struggle to get to him, and he lives far longer than he'd ever hoped.
What percentage of people do you think are happy with their jobs? I think you can make an analog there. If you say 1 in 8 people enjoy their jobs, then one Robot Master per Mega Man game is happy doing his thing, and the other 7 are just like, I'm just here for a paycheck.
That's fair.
So in Mega Man 1, who do you think enjoys it the most?
I am inclined to say, first of all, not Iceman.
No.
Iceman has that deer in headlights look.
Yeah.
It's either Gutsman or Electman, and Electman solely because he gets to wear that cool like latex cat suit.
Yeah, he's like a super Wolverine.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be happy.
And I mean, he gets into it too. Like you jump into his room and he's going.
He's already shooting like electricity, and you're like, wait, I'm not even in yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like Electman is probably the number one candidate for most excited. Yeah. How about Mega Man 2?
I'm going to say Quickman. I think he's the one that's smiling on the character select screen.
He does have a smirk, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to go basically purely off facial expressions.
Smile out of, like, irony.
It might be an ironic smile.
Because I know sometimes, like, when people are, like, really upset and they're crying, they'll, like, smile. And I just found that super strange.
He's secretly holding it in, yeah.
Signals.
Yeah.
Everyone else on this screen looks really angry, or in Heatman's case, yawning.
Heatman is very apathetic about everything that happens.
But Quickman does have like a slight, just like a little like half smirk.
All right, so here's the question. Maybe he came back from the dentist and like he's trying to make a full-on smile, but half his mouth is numb.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. I get that when I eat like Cheetos or marshmallows
Oh,
because
right.
I'm allergic to them.
She's allergic to those. It makes her mouth go numb. And so if she eats the Cheeto, she becomes Quickman.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of neat.
Except I talk really slow.
You'd have to, otherwise you bite your lip.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Listen to the Kira contemplates life, man. It's okay to cry, man.
It's okay.
Totally, man. Yeah. There's a Mega Man history. Let's do one more, too. Mega Man 3.
Okay. I'm going to go off memory first and try and figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
Before I look it up. I'm thinking it's Gemini Man.
Is the happiest?
Well, he always has a friend, first of all.
That's true. That's true.
It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. He's satisfied because he's never alone.
There's a lot of smiling in the Mega Man 3 character select screen. Gemini Man is smiling, Top Man is smiling, Shadow Man is smiling, but in like a sinister way.
Yeah.
And Snake Man looks like he's taking a dump inside of his suit.
He does. Snake Man is so cool.
Then that should be like a happy thing.
Maybe he's trying not to take a dump inside of his suit, though. We need to consider that.
Trying really hard. Like maybe Dr. Wily's like, okay, not today. Today's picture day. And if you do this, yeah, I'm going to get rid of you and I'm going to get a different Robot Master. That could be it.
That would mean he is happy, though. He doesn't want to be... He wants to be a Robot Master.
He doesn't want to. That's true. He's trying really hard to impress Dr. Wily.
And that's why he's not pooping in his suit.
By not pooping in his snake suit. He jumps a lot for someone who poops in his suit.
It's just moving around in there.
Yeah, it's sloshing. It spills out occasionally.
No.
Okay, so who's the most depressed in Mega Man 3?
Most depressed in Mega Man 3. It looks like...
It feels fairly apathetic, but he just seems like he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's not, like, sad, necessarily.
Sparkman, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Needle Man or Magnet Man. Because here's the thing about... Needle Man looks kind of drowsy. He might be okay.
Yeah.
Magnet Man, you can't see... He's got, like, a mask over this part of his face. So you can't see his nose or his mouth. Mm-hmm. But then he also has this magnet right here. So you can't see any expression. You can literally only see, like, the bottom halves of his eyes. Okay. There could be any number of things going on under there.
Okay. Now think about this. Think about Hard Man.
I usually do.
Okay, good. Because his body is questionably the heaviest of any Robot Master in 3.
Oh, that would be depressing.
That's difficult already, and on top of that, his job is to slam headfirst into the ground, into rocks, over and over, to the point where everything around him freezes because he hits his head so hard.
But he's so hard, he doesn't. Does he feel it?
I feel as if he does, but like it's kind of like Andre the Giant. Like you could do whatever you want to him, and he might not necessarily feel it, but he doesn't like it. Like it makes him feel like he doesn't want that to be his worth.
Can you calm down?
Yeah.
Just trying to do my job.
Yeah, like he doesn't want it, but like what other choices does he have? What other occupation could he ever get? Andre the Giant wasn't going to sit behind, a desk and do accounting. He was only going to be a gigantic novelty. And I feel Hardman is sort of under the same umbrella.
What if Hardman is not that big, though?
He's still designed to be really heavy.
Yeah, but he can still jump. He jumps off the screen and then comes down.
You can only see him jump. He never walks because he can't. Imagine that kind of pressure on your knees.
That makes me really sad.
It's pretty upsetting. Poor Hardman.
Because then at that point you have a ton of health issues as well.
Yeah, no, there's a lot that goes into it.
A lot of physical pain.
Yeah, and like in less than probably 20 years, he's going to be in a wheelchair or have a walker. He's going to have a lot of back issues. That sucks.
That does suck. It's terrible.
And he's not even like, he's young.
He's got a long life ahead of him.
Yeah, it was going to be cut
Only
short.
he wasn't designed so heavy.
Correct. I think he's too heavy to be happy.
What if he gets wheels? Like really strong wheels.
He becomes Nitro Man.
I think he could only move downhill, though. He's so heavy.
Oh, that's true. You
could
couldn't
put him on top of a ramp, and he could slide down with no control over, no ability to stop himself.
It's still conditional, yeah. Yeah.
But it would be a little easier, right? Like a little.
If you had ramps around. A lot of downhill ramps, anyway. If you only had declines.
Yeah.
You'd be...
And then at that point, he's like, well, life's only going down from here. And then
he's Ziggy.
He's Ziggy, yeah. Oh, holy shit. So what if Ziggy is just Hardman out of his suit?
Cool.
Put pictures of them side by side. I don't think you're going to be too disappointed.
He has to tuck his nose.
Make sure that when you Google Hardman, you type in Mega Man 3. I do implore you to do that when you're trying to put these pictures next to each other. So in Japan, there's a celebrity, and his name is Razor Ramon. I came to find out later. But he plays this character called Hard Gay. Yes.
Short for Hardcore Gay.
Yep.
And I discovered him in 2003, 2004 when I was out there visiting a friend in Japan. And I came back to North America, and I was like, oh, Hard Gay, this guy is so great. I want to show all my friends. And because at that point I didn't know he also went by Razor Ramon, so Googling him was arguably the most difficult thing I've ever done. Because even Hard Gay Japan did not yield the results I was looking for.
Hard Gay Japan.
Yeah.
A little more interesting results, I assume.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty kinky. A lot of skinny Japanese dudes doing the hardcore thing. I'll show you Hard Gay, though. I have a Hard Gay keychain around here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it might be in the other room. Anyway, video games.
Yep.
Are we talking about video games? We're talking about Mega Man. Mega Man and depression.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be some sort of indie game based off of Mega Man bosses and how they feel socially. Like
a Mega Man boss dating sim?
Yeah, exactly. And, the kind of struggles that they have, where Needleman, does he want to do drugs or does he want to stay clean to, take care of his little brother?
Yeah, really get to know them.
Yeah. Because these are the questions that, because Dr. Wily, he doesn't care. He says, here's your money, here's your robot dollars, here's your your chips and bolts and oil and stuff.
Yep. Go buy supplies to kill Mega Man.
Exactly. Yeah, he gives it to them. Yeah, go to Dollar General, and here's 50 bolts worth of money, and you can get anything you want to put in your stage. This what's a whole other thing.
Yeah, are they built to be the things that they are, or are they just sort of blank skeletons? And Dr. Wily's just here's my craft bin. Find something to form your persona around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like he probably builds a robot and he goes, drills. Okay? He goes, well, maybe drills in the desert. So does he put Drill Man just in his little box in the desert, and then Drill Man has to go make a stage out of it? You know? Or does Dr. Wily say, I'm going to put all these spikes here and some cactuses and, like, you know, a pit, and then at the very end I'll do Drill Man because we have a bunch of drills here. Like, does Dr. Wily design the stage, or do the bosses? Do the masters?
I would imagine that he would in the robot. I mean, Drill Man has drills.
That's probably very hard for him unless he
Yeah.
commands somebody else to do it for him.
I feel like he designs the stages first, right? And he's like, what would go good in here? You know, oh, I just made a pyramid. I should make a pharaoh man.
Yeah, I mean a pyramid.
Because otherwise you wind up with like Snoopy inside of a pyramid, and that's not...
That's not what you want.
No, children don't need to see that.
So then why does Dr. Wily choose not to? Because I feel like there has to be some sort of lack of insight for the stage design, because he could just be like, well, the beginning of the stage is just covered in spikes.
Okay, so here's the reason for this.
Okay.
Originally, at least, all of the Robot Masters had like a societal purpose, right? They all did a job.
Yeah, that's true. They all function.
OSHA.
Okay.
It is a place of... It is a workplace, and it needs to be safe. And like, yeah, you're going to encounter some hazards, right? Like, if you're going to work in a foundry, you're going to have a big vat of like molten steel.
Yeah.
That's part of the risk you take, but you do need to have the proper safety precautions to make sure that nobody falls into that vat of molten steel. So like, yeah.
Okay. So there might be lava around, but like, it's not going to be constant lava, but you're still going to have to be careful of your own accord.
Yes.
You know, here's a minty green tower with a bunch of scissors flying out of like these boxes.
Yep.
There might be some spikes. You got to be careful. There might be a pit or two. It just sort of
But there is a way through.
Yeah, like a construction zone. You know, if you're careful, you'll be fine. But if you're not careful, you can get your head mashed by a girder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I got it.
Hmm. Does Dr. Wily care about that? Like, who?
I don't think he cares about it, but as a businessman, he has to comply.
Okay, so he's chaotic neutral?
I think he's what's the in between of... I think he's neutral evil or whatever that one is.
There's lawful. Is he lawful evil, I guess?
I could see
He does play by a very strict set of rules. You know, he always like he doesn't just say like, oh, like, well, Gutsman, nothing hurts Gutsman. Like, you can't use bubbles against Gutsman, so I'm gonna put Gutsman in after Bubble Man. He gives you the option to take the path you want, and he always makes sure that there is a, you know, that this beats that and that this beats that.
There's always a way around. He understands that, like, you know, because
you gotta make it fair.
He wants to, you know, Mega Man to confront him.
Yeah. And his goal has never been, I'm going to kill Mega Man, right? He wants to basically rule the world.
He just wants domination. Yeah.
Yeah, which requires a set of laws.
And if he kills Mega Man, he can no longer dominate Mega Man.
Yep.
Unless he considers that like an eternal domination.
Every day that you don't live, I own you.
Exactly.
That could be the way it works, you know?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Like, he thrives. Like, he visits Mega Man's grave every day, and he just feels more and more powerful.
Dunks a basketball over it.
Exactly. Pees off it. Yeah, exactly. Like little Calvin sticker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brushes off his shoulders.
Yep, exactly. Wipes his boots. So when Mega Man explodes, he becomes a massive energy that flies everywhere. Can you, like, pop that in, like, a fishbowl or something and then stick it up the ground? How does he...
In a fishbowl?
Yeah, like, where do you put it? How do you collect all those bits of Mega Man?
Batteries?
Really fall over and die.
Rechargeable battery?
Mega Man become batteries?
Yeah.
Is that what batteries are, or just dead Mega Mans?
Oh, no.
Living batteries.
Living batteries. Okay.
Yeah, dead batteries are just dead Mega Mans.
So Mega Man dies and becomes a series of batteries, and then once those die, they're extra dead Mega Man.
Yep.
Are like all the different battery brands just different parts of Mega Man?
Or they could be Mega Man if he was like...
So it's like Duralast is like the legs.
So when Mega Man dies, he becomes, like regular Mega Man becomes like blue and dark blue balls that fly everywhere. But if he's equipped with like Elec Man's power, he's like gray and yellow, and when those explode, they become gray and yellow balls. So maybe like it's all the different brands. There's like Kirkland.
I'm picturing the battery factory now. We're like, all right, we're doing Ever Ready today. Put on Wave Man. They just kill him over and over again.
Just stab. I have to like, stab him like in a contained unit.
Yeah.
Like, put him in one of those like Ghostbusters boxes, and then they just stab him and then close it as quickly as they can, and then put it down the assembly line.
Yep. Bring in the next Mega Man. Here's your power.
I think that's exactly how it works.
I think that's how it works too. I'm sad that it took me this long to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you're dumb.
I'm kind of dumb, so I didn't know that. Oh, shoot. There was something that happened in the gaming world that I thought was interesting. I wanted to discuss. I don't think it was anything big because right now we're still sort of, games have been delayed.
Yep.
There's Beyond Good and Evil 2 being teased by Michel Ancel. There's praise about the NX, even though we still know nothing about it. Oh, there was one thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about, and this is just sort of like some thoughts about games in general. But NX, okay. So right now, we still know nothing about it. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with look, as someone who's not an early adopter,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Like this could be a gaming system that is released as a box of crackers, and each cracker tastes different, and that's how you know what game you're playing.
Nintendo Salty Select.
I don't care.
Okay.
And if they announce it and they're like, yeah, you have to put a thing up your butt and like it takes your blood every time you want to play it, like, okay, I'm not gonna get that system.
Sure.
I'm not going to get that.
Okay. Because I see like, a lot of the general public, yelling at Nintendo to release information, which they will. I don't know when. It could be this month, could be next month, it could be January. I'm not sure. But not knowing, does that impact any of your excitement at all? Like, say, I mean, because obviously as not an early adopter, there's not really much in stake for you.
We know too much. Video game enthusiasts know too much. The curtain has been pulled back too far. We get way too many updates. We know too much about a game before it's done being built.
I feel like we're entitled because we've been given so much that we demand to know exactly what it is right now.
Yeah, I remember, I'm going to get on my old man porch, but I remember a time when like I would see the name of a game in like a catalog. And that's all I'd have is the name of the game. And I'd be like, I wonder what that's about. Like, I would get excited to play this game that I only knew literally in name only. And it could be terrible or it could be great. I don't know. And like that sense of wonder, like when my brother bought the family N64, he didn't have enough money to buy a game with it. And I was really bummed that the N64 didn't come with the packing game. We just had the system and the controller. And on the way out of Target or whatever, I grabbed a brochure that had, it was this little fold-out brochure that had like 20 N64 games, and it had one screenshot, the logo of the game, and then like a brief, like in the little last part of the wedge, like a little brief description of it. And I would sit there holding the controller and think like, oh, like Mario Kart R, I wonder how that's going to play. How am I going to use the controller to play that? Or like, oh, GoldenEye, like how would I play this game? Like, I don't know. And like having that lack of information and just having to imagine it was way more fulfilling than seeing a screenshot of a title screen and then getting like 8 tweets the next week about like, oh, it has this feature, it has that feature. Like if a game has a, like this just came up today, is that they announced that For Honor, the Ubisoft Vikings versus Samurais versus Knights like brawler game.
Yeah.
They had been saying that it had split screen, and they announced today that it will not have split screen.
That's right.
They had to pull it from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well if we never knew that it had split screen, we would get it and be like, oh man, imagine if this game had split screen, and that would be like the end of that discussion.
Right. Instead
Instead of being like, no, you promised, I want it back.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, continue.
No, it's just there. It's all well and good to show something, to tease something, to get people excited. You know, even if it is years out, if it's going to take that long to like, oh look, here's the screenshot of like a new Mario level, like that we're working on for the next Mario game. Like, oh my god, like yeah, let's dissect that. Let's talk about like why does the menu look like that? How many lives does he have? Does he need that many lives?
Mhm.
How many lives should a Mario have? And I get into the really deep ethical questions about this one screenshot. But we don't need constant refreshing, like, hey, our game exists. Don't forget our game exists. Hey, remember our game exists?
No, I can understand that completely.
Yeah, that's very much the boat that I'm in as well, too, is I don't feel that I need to be coddled constantly with information because, number one, is I know it's coming out, I know it has Zelda with it, and I will buy it. Like, those are the things that I know. Therefore, I'm good to go.
Even if you have to take a blood-sucking probe and put it up your butt to play it?
At this point, my excitement for the system would outweigh that. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I would deal. Because my thing is there's we're also dealing with a lot of stuff right now regarding No Man's Sky, and the fact that I think that they're trying to like get like the ad campaign, legislation or administration or whatever, to come in and see if this game had been proclaimed for having false advertising practices. And I think it's important because it's so easy to overhype yourself based on what you think something's going to be versus what it actually is. And while, yes, the product that was shown several years ago and continued until the game's release were different, that is how I feel every game generally is. Mm-hmm. I mean, Mission Impossible 64.
Yeah.
That game looked infinitely better in every single render than it ever did on your TV. Right?
Yep.
Because every screenshot was in high resolution. It was amazing, right? But it's one of those things where I look at it and I will always still say you need to claim 100% responsibility for any purchase that you choose to make. Now, if everything that they had showed, if they had shown exclusively videos of the game that had X content, and when the game finally came out, it was 100% different, sure, I could see that being an issue. If every YouTube video and every preview was somehow misrepresented so grandly that the game you had was literally different than the one you were shown, okay, that might be an issue. But everything that I had seen on No Man's Sky, by the time it was about to get released, I looked at it and said, well, it looks like it's a very different game than it once was, but I'm still interested, therefore I will still make the choice to buy this, knowing that that's the case. And I feel consumer responsibility still plays a very big role in what you choose to purchase because everything is voluntary. But I also believe people do need to sort of chill out until something's about to come out. And then when it comes out, then you do your due diligence and take the time to research it properly. But I like the idea of not knowing anything about the NX because I already know that I'm excited about it. And all this talk has gotten buzz. And with Breath of the Wild, I wanted just the one trailer they showed at E3 with a little bit of off-screen impressions. But the web was flooded with 3-hour-long videos forever. And I just kept thinking, I don't want to know any of this.
Yeah.
I want to.
Wouldn't you rather, if you saw a video, a 5-second video of a game, and it was just a dude uppercutting the shit out of this other dude on the street, and he goes up in the air and falls down, and you're like, oh, I like uppercuts.
Yeah.
And then you don't know anything else, and then you actually just get the game, and you're like, oh, this game has uppercuts, but it also has a bus driving segment, and you can swim, Yeah. Don't you want to be surprised? Don't you want to be surprised?
You wouldn't. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the release of Final Fantasy 13. How it was so excited for the release, and then we got it, and it was just.
And that's interesting. And I claim responsibility because I was under the assumption that the game was going to follow from a legacy series the same standard of quality. And it wasn't that Final Fantasy 13 was the worst thing ever, but I blindly went into it assuming something that was incorrect. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I agree. To me, there's very few things that are more exciting than getting a chance to be surprised. And I played the Final Fantasy 15 demo to death, but I haven't watched any other videos on it since. A bunch of new videos came out recently, casting death. Here's this segment. Here's a new trailer. Here's a new teaser. And because the game is so close, I haven't watched any of it. And it's not that I'm not excited, but I feel as if I don't want to know any more than I need to, which is what I've already experienced.
Yeah.
I want to be surprised. I'm trying to stay as actively away from it as I can. Ronnie says, I can't deny that I was all over each and every piece of info about Doom 2016 from announcement until release. I will also admit that there are certain games that I do salivate over and will do so actively, and certain ones that I want to be surprised at. And Doom, I actually didn't really keep up with a whole lot. I don't know why. So when I played the game, most of it was actually just a surprise to me, which I did like. But when it comes to like a game like a Zelda, or generally most Nintendo games, or like a big story-based game, I like to be as surprised as possible.
Yeah, I think once you've committed, I think there should be some kind of app where, like a Chrome extension or something, where the moment you pre-order a game, you can no longer look at any more content from that game.
What if there's like an emergency update that says this game is going to come out, and if you play it, it's going to stick a machine up your ass that spins you around?
Shouldn't have pre-ordered it so
I don't
early.
know why we implemented this.
That's true. Caveat emptor. This is still...
Yeah, every game, like, oh, this might stick a machine up my ass. I'm going to wait for them to confirm that, and then I'll put my money down.
Wait till they confirm that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of like it blocking all pieces of news from eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, there's other outlets. There's Facebook.
Well, I'd like
Yeah.
it, so, like, what it could do is like it could sense, like it could just read,
sense.
like, if Breath of the Wild appears like, structurally in something, it would automatically block that piece of news. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of a cool idea.
No, I think it'd be interesting.
Just because I do like the idea of being as surprised as possible. Even with Pokemon, the new Pokemon comes out, and they're really, like, they're feeding it to people very actively. And I know some people like that, but I like not knowing a lot. And then I woke up, like, yesterday morning, and the first thing I did when I scrolled through, like, one of the news feeds was like, oh, here's the pictures of the new ones. And I kind of didn't want to know, because I was like, the game's so close. But now I know.
Yeah.
One less thing to be kind of surprised about.
That's the problem with the digital information age, is that there's, like, what is really... It's so hard to balance, like, I don't want to know versus it's literally only going to take me 20 seconds
Yeah.
to find out all the information I need.
Yeah, because the problem is when I read very quickly, and even if I scan across something, sometimes it's like, Ash's New Adventure, Professor Oak dies, or whatever, and I'm just like, come on. Like,
Not again.
not again. Oak keeps dying. I do that all the time on accident, where I realize that I've read something that I wasn't supposed to, and because it was there. Like, my eyes scan things so quickly, and it messes me up. So, it's...
No, I can totally agree that, like, part of a game being good is being surprised by it and being able to look forward to something. And if you just get constant updates and video and pictures, you kind of feel like you already played the game.
Or like movie trailers, for that matter. Sometimes movie trailers show like such key components, and by the time you get to like, oh, well, yeah, he's going to live because I saw this part, and you thought he was going to die, but he's not going to, clearly. I don't know. So, but yeah, okay. But
I think there are some people who like... I think there's people don't realize, a lot of people don't realize that they feel this way, but I think a lot of people like feeling smart by not being surprised. Where they're like, oh, like, yeah, that guy. Like, if they're watching, like, CSI, and like, oh, yeah, that shifty-looking guy that showed up 2 minutes into the episode, he's the one that's going to do it. Watch.
Yeah.
The guy who just walked away from the bomb that just exploded, he's going to be the guy they catch. I guarantee it.
Yeah. That's true. I think there is, like, a satisfaction in being given something that's kind of like, when the player figures this out, they're going to feel like a genius. Have you seen those little memes that pop up on Facebook that's like, here's like, 1 + 2 = 9, 1 + 3 = 14, or whatever, and like there are these little number patterns, and it goes, 99% of people can't get this. And it's
but they're all super easy.
Yeah, they present it to you so you can feel like, hey, I got it. Then I shared with my friends, and hey guys.
It's like those things where they switch all the letters around. It's like only 1% of people can read this.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone can read it.
It's very simple to do, but like they really want people to feel special or something like that. In games and movies, and I feel like I'm king of the goddamn world every time I solve something in Phoenix Wright.
Yes.
When you hit the button and the music stops, you're like, I got it. I can't, like, he was standing this way when he got stabbed. That's so cool. Nobody else would have gotten that.
Yep.
And, yeah, I love that satisfaction. Also, The Witness, by the way. I can't remember. Did you play that? Did you try it?
I have not played it on principle still.
Okay.
But then again, like, if you're given that information, it takes it away from you, like, completely.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan Blow Principle?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fair. It really is a great game.
I'm sure it is. It seems like I know what I like, though, and it seems like the kind of game where my skin will start crawling like 30 minutes in. where I'm just like, I just need to solve the damn puzzle.
Yeah.
Not feeling I don't have the tools to do it. I get this weird, like spiders are running on my back. I don't like it.
That's fair. That's fair. I get the feeling of spiders coming out of my urethra.
Oh, yeah, your grapefruit, your open grapefruit urethra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, full tarantulas like start like wandering out.
Disgusting.
I know, it sucks. But it's interesting the way things are presented to us.
I like to be surprised, and I've got an example. I wanted to talk to you about this.
Okay.
I'm hoping that I don't unplug my headphones while I reach this thing.
I hope that too.
I'm just going to take them off. I'll be right back.
Okay. Phoenix, right? I didn't actually do like any research on the new one, and so when it came out, like everything is 100% a surprise to me.
Mm.
That's my favorite. I know literally nothing about it.
I only played Trials and Tribulations.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But half the time, if I couldn't figure something out, I'd be really angry at myself. Be like, I'm the worst lawyer ever.
I know.
And
Yeah.
I'd go and like make waffles.
I just love those games.
They're really fun.
Waffles or not. The music. There's something about like I don't know. A lawyer game.
It's designed to a T to make you as excited as possible.
Yeah, they really do a great job. You feel incredible every time you solve a case or defend somebody from a seemingly like undefendable case. Very clever games. Very cleverly written. Yeah.
So I bought a game, John.
Okay.
And I bought this game like almost a year ago, probably. And the only reason I bought it is because I was at Hastings and it was $3. And I was like, fuck it. I want another DS game, so I bought a game. And looking at the game, it looks like a total piece of crap. I'm going to put it up here so you guys can see. Daniel X, The Ultimate Power.
I was trying to look angry.
From best-selling author James Patterson.
Okay. Hold on.
With additional Nintendo DSi feature.
Didn't he write like that book about bird people? What was it called? I could be completely off point.
I don't know at all. Bird People book?
Yeah, like a book about like these teenagers that are really angsty and they're part bird.
Animorphs?
Is it an Animorph book?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it really quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So Daniel X.
Daniel X, The Ultimate Power.
So this is based off of an existing Daniel X game because the DS version has additional.
No, there's a series of books called Daniel X written by James Patterson, and this is a game adaptation of those books.
So what does it say for the DS feature?
And here it just says additional Nintendo DSi feature.
Okay.
That's all it says.
Feature as in like it's a presentation.
On the back, it explains it. It says, aliens are everywhere. Use your Nintendo DSi camera to determine who you can trust. And that is literally all the DSi feature is you just take pictures of things that are supposed to be people, and it'll tell you what kind of alien they are and like give you like their stats.
So this is one of the DSi exclusive games.
Kind of. It does play on a regular DS because it's not a required component of the game whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just a bonus little mini feature.
All right, Daniel X.
Right?
Is his last name X?
I knew it. It is a book about bird people.
Is his last name X?
He's an alien. I don't know if his last name is X.
Like Mega Man X, except for Daniel.
But yeah, I bought this game because it was $2.99. I knew nothing about it. I was just like, it's a DS game. It's in its case. It's $3. Fuck it. And it's been sitting in shrink wrap on my stack of DS games for about a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And after I moved in, I was like, I want to play a DS game. I don't want to set up a console. I'm just going to pull out my DS. I'm going to pop in a DS game. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give Daniel X a shot. John, and L.
Yeah,
this is a solid B+ game.
That's very impressive.
This game it's basically a really easy Metroid game with Devil May Cry combat.
Okay.
Interesting.
You can brawl, you punch aliens, you can uppercut them into the air and jump up after them and beat them up and knock them back down to the ground and do a ground pound and pop them up again. You can like dash through walls, you can wall jump, you can.
Oh, weird.
It's really good. It's just not that hard and it's pretty short. And there are certain things about it that are like kind of cringy where instead of a morph ball, Daniel gets the ability to turn into a soccer ball. And you just turn into a soccer ball that jumps around.
High school kids.
Apparently Daniel X was his book, which his other titles are also very angsty.
Yeah.
Including First to Die,
Oh.
and Maximum Ride.
Whoa, that sounds sexy.
Cradle and all.
Yeah, it's published by THQ, developed by Griptonite, who made the. I don't know if you ever played it. They made the very competent Spider-Man Metroidvania games for the Game Boy Advance or DS. I can't remember which.
I heard about them.
Yeah, I was just like, I beat it, and it was like, you got 82%. Do you want to play New Game Plus? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for the 100%. And I just went right back in, and I played it again. Like,
that's pretty good.
It was $3 at Hastings. Rip Hastings. I don't know how much it's going to cost now, but like, this is not a bad game.
And, all right, on your recommendation, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to give my summary next week.
Okay.
Lucidius Veer also comes in the evening and says, "Evening, everybody. Hello."
Evening.
I like being surprised. Now, with this game, do you feel that it was built on a framework of like, hey, these guys are going to make a cool game, and then suddenly THQ goes, by the way, we got the license to Daniel X. Do you think you guys could reskin this?
100% yes.
Okay. So they had made something really cool, and we're like, oh, what's the character? What's the setup? And then once they got the license, they're like, all right, guys, like, take your engine and do this.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Griptonite.
Yeah.
Okay. It's always really cool when like a really good developer can get a really strange license, and you make a game that you're like, I don't know why this is good, but it's good. I can't remember if I recommended Shaman King to you.
You did. Yes, I still have not played it, but you did recommend that game.
One of those things, and I'm sure like the actual series is fine. I know nothing about the anime Shaman King, but the game is so solid. It is such a good type platformer. Yeah, if you get a chance. Actually, I think we got 2 copies at the store recently. So if you ever want to check it out, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. What's one of the best games that you played that you did not expect to be good besides Daniel X? Because at this point,
besides Daniel X, certainly.
Yeah.
There's more Patterson adaptations because he had a book called Quickie.
Quickie.
And I'm interested to see what that game would be about.
Maybe it's a sequel to Flicky.
There aren't a lot of...
Flicky was so much fun!
Everybody loves Flicky.
Yeah.
I found this out recently. I had a Flicky tournament at my house.
That's awesome.
And everyone got really hyped for Flicky.
Good.
Oh, I'm going to go home and play Flicky later.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
It's your job now.
There aren't a lot of book-to-game adaptations.
Yeah, and
there's usually a middle ground of like a movie first.
Yeah.
Like Da Vinci Code.
That's okay. There was Da Vinci Code. Yeah, book. I wish there was a Ninja 5.0 book. like Dean Koontz presents Ninja 5.0.
I don't know, most of the
Kachina
books
Dolls in Florida. Yeah.
Most of the books I read are like educational, so it's like I don't know if I'd actually want to play a game about like the letters
Juvenile diabetes.
I don't know how engaging that would be.
About Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
Say what's more, Michael?
Juvenile diabetes.
Juvenile diabetes?
Yeah,
well, that's we've got you covered.
Yeah.
Did we ever discuss what the best medical game was? I know we listed several, but I don't think we ever really decided.
I think we decided on like Trauma Center and or Life or Death.
Okay, yeah, or Surgeon Simulator, which
yeah,
I'm pumped for this one to see because it's. I won't say anything about it other than
I've seen people play it before.
Oh, you have?
I just haven't played it myself.
Okay. Is there one you can operate on Donald Trump? Isn't that like one of the expansions?
Yeah, that's one of the DLCs.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Just pull apart his rib cage and throw a bunch of hammers in there or something. Yep. So good. Okay. All right. So those are books to game.
Mm-hmm. Nancy Drew.
There's Nancy Drew. Was there ever? Oh, there was never an Encyclopedia Brown game.
I wish there was.
I wish too. I loved those books.
Me too.
I feel as if they could have made a really good Encyclopedia Brown DS game, but if they did it now, it would like be weird. He'd have like a cell phone, and I don't know. I don't want that. Leroy Brown.
Yep.
Leroy.
He always helped his dad solve cases. There was one where he went to a woman's house and she had just taken a bath, but she was filing her nails, and he was like, "Well, your nails would be too soft to file them." So and so she got caught red-handed.
Yeah, it's basically like Autistic Kid Mysteries is what Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah, more or less.
It should just be titled that then.
Yeah, it really just should.
What's your favorite game? Autistic Kid Mysteries.
Yeah, because he just observes things that like solve all the cases, but they're just like she only picked up 198 toothpicks and she dropped 200.
Yeah, I can see how
like
that's
that's essentially.
like who's gonna sit there and pick them all up?
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman.
Him, yes. Of
Tootsie.
course.
As Tootsie.
Oh,
Yep.
Yep.
As Hook.
As Hook. He was such a great Hook, by the way.
How would Hook pick up toothpicks off the floor?
With his mouth.
yes.
Bobbing for floor toothpicks?
Plant forward like a antlion.
Okay.
Scissors.
Yeah.
John, I did something this
What
week.
did you do?
I played The Legend of Zelda.
The first one?
Yep.
Okay. How
On
was
to
it?
Zelda 2 then.
It was good. Yeah, I'm ready for Zelda 2.
Me too. I'm always ready for Zelda 2.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
But I did something different. And me personally, I think some people have strong opinions about this, but I kind of like just opening up a walkthrough and following it. I did it, or like a strategy guide. Like I did it with Earthbound. I did it with Illusion of Gaia. Like first playthrough, just crack it open and just follow like making a cake. Just follow the directions.
Making a cake.
Okay.
How do you feel about walkthroughs? How do you what do you guys do? You use them when you need them? Do you never use them?
So it really depends on exactly like in the modern day, like current day, October 2016. I'd probably be more inclined to use them if necessary because I don't have the time or patience to dick around unless the name of the game is dicking around until you figure out what to do. Breath of the Wild, I feel, yeah, that's the newest DS game. Breath of the Wild, I feel, is one that because I want to explore like nonsensically, I just want to go crazy, I probably won't use a walkthrough on. But like if I'm to go back and play certain games, I actually am way more inclined to, unless I know the game like inside and out, just for the sake of me getting to complete it again in a reasonable manner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have enough time to dick around in Zelda 1 because I remember it pretty well, but like I certainly don't know it well enough to beat it quickly. Or Metroid.
Yeah.
Matter.
There's some stupid stuff in those games.
Right, yeah, and they're programmed.
Goonies. How did anyone ever figure out how to beat Goonies 2?
I've beaten the game so many times and I've only ever beaten it on accident every single time. Like I only ever accidentally figure out the right pattern of doors to go through. I've never been like I know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I always do it by going into the wrong door somehow, and it is the right door.
Yeah, I'm inclined to use a walkthrough sometimes. Most of the time, I just like to mess around and figure the game out because it's like being surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It defeats the purpose if you're going through a walkthrough. But there's been games where I cannot figure something out, where I have to look at a walkthrough. Or if it's something like Skyrim where it's just like infinite missions.
Yeah, that can be pretty daunting.
Then I'll just like go to a walkthrough and just see where the place is.
Okay.
Like so I don't have to go and find it if I don't have the location found.
That's fair. So now under the presupposition that you don't have a lot of time but you still want to complete something, or say you're halfway through a game and you're like, well, I want to beat it, but I'm getting kind of like, I'm losing interest. Would you use a walkthrough just to help you complete it the rest of the way so you're not like stuck wandering? Like, do you feel as if you'd rather use a walkthrough just to help you finish it off so you could, for the sake of beating it?
That does happen because, like, I think there are certain genres of games where using a walkthrough just kills, like, a point-and-click adventure.
Oh, yeah.
If you use a walkthrough to beat that, then you are literally not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not playing a game.
But what will happen is if I get stuck in a game like that and I open the walkthrough, like, I'm usually inclined to, at that point, just go through the motion. Like, all right, fine, fuck it. Like, I give up. I just want to see the end and just...
Okay. So you wouldn't, like, use it just to get the one clue and then figure out the rest on your own?
No, I don't have that kind of willpower, I don't think.
Okay.
Well, that's your problem.
It is.
It
is a personal problem. But the reason that I bring this up, because I had a really cool thought.
Okay.
Because the way I opened up a walkthrough, I was like, I want to find all the items in Zelda, but I don't want to find them. I just want to have them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do the actual legwork.
You just want to collect them.
Yes. And so I found this guy had a walkthrough. There was a 100% item completion guide for Legend of Zelda, first and second quest. And he was making me play this game in a way that I've never played it before.
Okay.
Basically, his philosophy was, if you can get an item now, get it.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
So before I started the first dungeon, I had, I think I had the white sword, I had the blue ring, I had bombs and arrows and bait and magic shield. Like I had like 8 hearts. I was geared up. And I was like, man, I have never done this before. Like it's usually like, oh, I can't afford that. Like I'm just going to go do a dungeon and then see if I have the money.
Sure.
So I was playing this game the way that this guy, I don't know if it's the way he likes to play it or just the way that he feels the most. I don't know. But it was his plan. This is how I think you should play The Legend of Zelda. And like thinking of a walkthrough, and especially in a game that's usually as rigid as Zelda, which isn't particularly rigid, but you certainly have to do things in a certain order for the most part. Like having someone else's take on this is how I do it. Like, okay, let me try the way you do it. Maybe I'll like that better. Okay, I don't like your strategy for this boss. I'm going to go to this guy's walkthrough. This guy likes to sit in the corner and do the slow one hit at a time thing that's safe, but it takes a lot of time. Like the idea of a walkthrough as being sort of like a chronicle of how someone beats a game was really interesting to me.
It's kind of neat because it really becomes like, here's their journey. I'm going to re-experience their journey in my way. But like, if you follow it, you're experiencing. It's sort of like, you know how in Prince of Persia, like the remakes, or well, not really remakes, but like the new version of Prince of Persia, he's telling a story while you're playing through the game.
Yep.
And if you mess up, he goes, "Oh, that's not how it happened." It's kind of like you're experiencing, listening to somebody's. I walked up the mountain and there it was, a lion man guarding the entrance to the cave, and there was a Zora spewing fireballs at me, and I got the white sword and I left, or whatever. And it's kind of like listening to somebody else's tale, but getting a chance to like mimic it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a neat idea, actually.
No, I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of fun.
Because then you're almost experiencing their play style as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, people, the thing about a game, even like Zelda 1, is it's open-ended enough to where you do play it to an extent how you wish, And that's what I like about Skyrim and, like those kinds of games is that I play things in a very stupid manner. And if somebody were to play, and Gaystar, the stupid Argonian idiot, like walked up the mountain and screamed at every single bear she saw, and they all flew off the mountains, no exceptions. Like,
no exception.
If you played Skyrim the way I played it, I wonder what people would think, abiding by the rules that I use when I play these games. And it could you
could be writing your own walkthroughs.
Yeah, a very different experience for somebody who would choose to partake in that. I wouldn't be serious. I wouldn't only walk through the towns, gallantly, wearing all the best armor, with Daedric swords or whatever. I'd be just screaming at everything that gets in my way and watching it fly into a wall.
No, because that's the best part of Skyrim.
That's how I play that game. Also, Nico came in and said, well, I'll be there are comments here now. So,
Yep.
Now we have a much better comment system, so it's much easier for everybody to participate in chat. So
Indeed
that's awesome.
Do.
Yeah. That's a neat idea, though. I mean, I suppose, like, to an extent, because I was thinking about, would you do it with Mega Man? Because Mega Man's pretty linear in a sense, but at the same time, you could still do recommended Robot Master, like, order.
Yeah.
For certain things.
It definitely works better for, like, you can't, this is how I play R-Type. Like,
right, exactly. Only hit left and down.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Or for Mega Man to be like, hey, you know what? Instead of starting with Top Man, start with Spark Man.
Well, it's like, yeah, Mega Man X, like, I know people who start with Storm Eagle. I know people who start with Chill Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know people who start with maybe one or two other options. Like, there's that sort of differing opinion. Like, oh, well, this is how I like to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try that. What's that like?
Yeah. It's neat that games in general can offer sort of that kind of variety. And this is someone at the store the other day got a high score in Tetris, and we have it posted to the Game Boy. And it's almost like 200,000 points for the original Game Boy Tetris, which is really good because that game is arguably one of the hardest ports of Tetris. But I was playing and, doing certain moves that, like, everybody plays Tetris differently. Everybody plays the game radically differently.
Yeah, I think you described it as being, like, intensely frustrating to watch.
Oh, I hate it. I hate watching somebody else play because even if they're playing in a way that works for them, when you think of people playing in a way that you don't play, it's like, what is wrong with you? And I think that's one of my favorite parts about it is everybody else is just wrong. It's, kind of like drivers. You're the best driver out there. Everybody else sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I'm pretty terrible at driving, and everyone else is better at driving.
That's fair. Okay. Well, you're the worst driver. No, you're probably fine.
No, I have never been in a crash or an accident or been pulled over, so I'm assuming I'm doing fine.
Yeah? Actually, that is an indication that things are going well.
Yep.
But in my head, I'm the worst driver.
I've seen a lot of people get into crashes and accidents and get tickets. So, Nico says, if if this isn't already a ROM hack, is there a Mega Man ROM hack that contains all the Robot Masters from 1 through 6? That would be one hell of a large game and a large menu system for the power-ups, or should I say that be a ROM hack? I don't know if there is. I'd be surprised if there wasn't something out there that was similar to this, but I would like that idea very much. If you could retain the exact properties of the way everything feels from 1 through 6, plus 9 and 10, please. I think that would be a lot of fun, because the closest they think they had was Wily Wars, which would allow you, once you beat the 3 games, would allow you to play as an extra set of like 3 or 4 missions where you could mix and match any of the powers from 1 through 3 in your arsenal and then go take on like these 3 new bosses.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like stuff like that.
Well, would you be able to use like each power against each boss? Like, would you just have a 10-page menu of like abilities?
I'm wondering, because it seems like it would be the kind of thing where you would have to sort of mix and match and finally say like, I have still maybe 8 powers to choose, maybe like 10. And so that way you get like a little bit more leeway to choose, but you still have to still pick and choose from a limited arsenal of all the different abilities. I'd like that. It'd be hard if you had like literally every single power. And if you chose like 10 different powers that weren't effective against, say, like Crash Man, you just got to go against them the hard way with the Mega Buster.
Yeah.
You know, maybe everything either does 1 damage or it just reflects off of him. I think it'd be kind of fun. Speaking of insane things in video games, that's not that insane. Crash Man's really easy. Wasn't the new Super Mario Brothers 1 world record killed by like a 16th or a 60th?
One frame. One frame.
Single frame.
Yeah.
And there's still room for improvement because this is still human playing.
Yep. Yeah.
What is that?
I think he even said like, "Oh yeah, I messed up like these 3 parts, like 3 parts."
Dang, and still beat it by a single frame.
Yep.
That's insanity. So he thinks he can still do better. There's still room for improvement in terms of like what the optimal run is, say like by like a bot, because I'm sure that's been done. Do you know what the discrepancy is between what is the theoretical best time of the game versus what's been achieved?
I can look that up real quick.
I'm really curious. I feel like that should be out there, but yeah, someone beat the Mario World record by literally like a 60th of a second. That's very good at Mario.
Yeah, the previous record was 4 minutes 57 seconds and 244 milliseconds, and now it's 4 minutes 57 seconds 194 milliseconds.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can do that.
Yeah, you play the game a lot. Because the thing about that is, even if you mess up, like you're only out at most 5 minutes. But
yeah, once you get good enough, like I actually something that I've done that we've talked about, and I never thought I would actually do it, but I got bored and I started doing it. I have a speedrun uploaded to speedrun.com now.
Of again,
officially Battletoads and Battlemaniacs.
You made okay. I know I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Dang.
It is the slowest uploaded play, but it was. I did it all professionally. I streamed it. I did the splits, like Jean-Claude Van Damme when I beat the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it in like a little over 32 minutes. The world record is like just under 20.
That's insane.
Yeah. So at least I can say that the best player of that game can't beat the game twice in the time it takes me to beat it once.
That's true. That's
I think that's worth something.
Yeah. My Mega Man 10 high score was, or 9, because I played a lot of 9, and mine was under half an hour, and I think the best time, because I think my time was like about 27 or 28 minutes, and the world record is like 16 or something absolutely like ludicrous. But also that is just barely, you know, they couldn't do it twice for me either, and that was kind of exciting. But that's like the only claim to fame I currently have. But Battlemaniacs, I struggled with that game. I've beaten Battletoads, but I haven't beaten Battlemaniacs.
I've heard that from a lot of people, and I'm the opposite. I think I've finished almost every. No, I think I finished. Maybe not like the Game Boy ones, but I finished all the main Battletoads games except for the first one. I can't do it.
So I'm really curious about Echo the Dolphin because it's the only game I've ever speedrun. It says the world record is 39 minutes and 43 seconds for Tides of Time, which makes my score look terrible because I'm in like an hour and 15.
Still.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that you can record it and you can upload it and your name is on the board, basically.
That's still cool, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the fourth place was like 52 minutes and 19 seconds.
So you're still even not like too far behind that.
No. I probably couldn't do better than that unless I played like religiously every day.
Yeah.
and I never want to do that again.
Yeah, that's some games are tough to commit that kind of time to really know something like inside and out like that well. That's really cool though. Congratulations. That's
Thank
really,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the cool thing, like I think it's okay to just like because I don't want to be the world record holder. Like it takes too much, you
That's
know.
a lot of effort,
Unless I'm the only person who's ever uploaded a speedrun for it, and I'm like, cool, I did it. And then like when someone else catches on, but like for Echo the Tides of Time, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and like there's only 4 videos uploaded, and so if you uploaded it, you could just be like, yeah, I have the 5th best time on speedrun.com. Like, and that sounds a lot better than maybe it is in tighter context, but
that's still pretty sweet. Nico also mentions, while speedrunning is amazing, it's even more amazing to see how games can still be exploited and broken. There was another Super Mario Bros. Glitch found recently too. Super Mario Brothers, you'd think all the glitches would be found or ways to improve gameplay, and he mentions, I really want to speedrun Jim Power The Lost Dimension.
they just found a new way to beat a boss in Wind Waker today.
I just saw that today. I didn't even like look into it, but apparently it's like a one-hit kill thing.
Yeah, it's the big plant boss.
You like lock onto his thing with the boomerang, right?
The sword and the boomerang, yeah. If you have the forest water in a bottle and you pour it on it, it dies.
That's amazing. So that's like a secret, though. That's not like a game exploit, right? That's actually like a fun like Easter egg?
I would. It's either it's one of those two things again. It's either an Easter egg or it was like we forgot to like code for that contingency.
Crazy.
No.
Okay, well, because that's really cool. It seems like it'd be a fun thing to be like, hey, this is pure water. Here's an impure boss. It's basically like Doom X Zone or Vanish X Zone or whatever. Yeah. Also, I'm getting requests to pop out the nips. So from Joel and Media Glitch. So
You're going to stretch out your shirt neckline.
that's fine. It'll heal.
It'll heal.
Yeah. I guess I could have gone from the side.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the Mario 1 speedrun leaderboard, and there are 13 people who have done it in under 5 minutes. And then from 14 to 150 is under 6 minutes. And then it says a few 6s, a 7s, a couple 8s, a couple 9s, a 10, an 18, a 40, and then a 4 hour and 3 minute and 41 second video uploaded to some. This is my speedrun of Mario that took me 4 hours and 3 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
But I like the fact that this tool exists where you can say like, well, that's my best time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to work on improving that, and maybe I'll get above this 40-minute guy.
Yeah.
But
I'll get above this 4 hour guy.
Yeah. It's kind of cool just for it to simply be there and just be like, you know what? Even if it's like you ran the race, and that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what you did because you still finished it.
Yeah, if you win the marathon, great. If you run the marathon, everyone's still like, dude, you ran a marathon.
Yeah, it's still really cool.
Speedrunning's like stressful for me though.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's too anxiety riddling for me to want to improve on it because I do it once and I'm like, oh, I'm done. Now,
that's why I just want to know like what my best is. Like, I don't want to be like, I'm going to be number 1. No.
Yeah.
I've seen people just like they're burnt out and they're tired and like they're constantly resetting and everything has to be perfect. And
another thing is I'm not competitive either, not even with myself. So even if I did like really good one time, my next time I'm going to be like, well, I don't really care about beating myself, so it's good now, I guess.
Like the Tetris score we have at the store, 199,000. That's awesome because that's our own ecosystem of points. And so that's far from the world record, clearly. But the thing is, for us, that's still really cool. And if somebody comes in and beats that, it's like, oh, that's neat. It's
the old arcade mentality. Like, you're not the best Galaga player in the world, but if you have the number 1 score at your local arcade, then you're king shit there.
Exactly. King shit, claim to fame. It's a lot of fun. That's revolves around something I've been actually meaning to do for a while at the shop, and I keep like sort of planning on how to do it. There's a lot of stuff I still have planned that I'm just racking my brains trying to get done. But I wanted to do something where, we set up our little X arcade at the shop, and then every month we have a high score board, and we say this is the game of the month. And we have like, maybe a monthly record or like a weekly record or a daily record or something, but you come in and you try to conquer that, and if you're the king of it by the end of the month, you get like some sort of prize.
Yeah.
It has to be verified by an employee, but if you can come in and do that and show us, then, hey, I won best time for Donkey Kong Country at Gamers Anonymous back in September. Here's my thing to prove it. I think even that's really cool.
And like, it can be store run, it can be community run, like, however people want to do it. Like, I just like that. I remember I used to live with a couple people in an apartment. God, this was probably about 12 years ago. And like I had this desire. I didn't follow through with it because I realized it was just like me forcing what I wanted on other people. But I had like a desire to say like, okay, like what's your best like monkey target score in Monkey Ball 2? And like put a piece of paper on the wall and like here's everyone's best score. Like who's got the best Monkey Ball 2, and like maybe pull that one down and tack up a different like what's the best time you can get on Koopa Beach in Mario Kart 64, you know, just like between 3 people, but that was enough like for me to feel engaged.
Yeah, totally. And I think actually we have Mario Kart 64 and Pokemon Snap set up at the store. And I think it's fun to be like, hey, you know, what's your best score for Stage 1? Pokemon Snap. What's your best score for Koopa Beach, Mario Kart 64? I mean, because they're right there, they're accessible, and it'd be super easy to do.
Pokemon Snap was so fun.
It is.
You see Pokemon Sun and Moon are going to have sort of like a Snap-style mode in it?
No, I didn't see that, but thanks for ruining it for me and taking away the surprise.
I did.
That's exciting.
I did ruin it. But yes, it does have like a camera 3D like adventure kind of like.
I always thought it was funny in Pokemon Snap when you'd like take a picture and it was perfect. Like, you really couldn't possibly do better than that.
There's no better picture of Meowth with, like, his head behind his, butt.
Yeah, and he's like, this could be better. It's like, it's perfectly centered.
Yeah.
Everything about this picture is flawless.
Well,
so you'd get, like, a super zoomed in of Snorlax's face and be like, wonderful.
He wants you to try, though. You know?
I guess.
Keep pushing yourself. Never settle.
Never settle. Okay.
So Nico asks, does anyone have a dream game they wish they could master for a speedrun? Like, if you could choose any one game in the world that you could be, like, you could get that flow, you could just, you know? What would it be? I feel like I want to say F-Zero, but, like, because it's structured not as, like, a full game in that regard, I probably want to choose something else.
I'm inclined to pick a game that's really hard that I hate losing at, so I can be like, no, now I've instantly mastered it. Like I'm imagining this is like a genie wish, not like, oh, does anyone have a game that you want to sit down and train 12 hours a day and get good at?
Yeah,
I'm not really like inclined to speedrun most games because part of gaming and what's enjoyable for me is just sitting down and relaxing and playing a game. And the only game I was inclined to speedrun was Echo the Dolphin Tides of Time. And I already did that.
So you wouldn't choose, like, I mean, even like some silly arcade, like Altered Beast. What if you were you were so good at Altered Beast, you could just walk in there and just be like...
Well, I mean, in that case, I'd do, like, Golden Axe 2.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the aspects that I do like about speedrunning, because I've been working on a couple other games as well, is that you get good enough to where, like with Echo, for example, if you can beat that game, you said it was like an hour and...
15 minutes.
An hour and 15 minutes. So now you know that if you just want to like relax and space out and kill an hour and 15 minutes, you can play Echo. Like, I think that's really cool to know that, like, okay, if I have a half an hour and I just want to play a video game, I can pop in Battletoads and Battlemaniacs and I can do that.
It's just totally like, you know it. It's 100% part of you. It's like moving your fingers. Like, effortless. Like, literally effortless. Yeah.
I do like that aspect about it. To know, like, okay, I've got an hour, like, I want to go to bed for an hour, but I don't know what to do. I'll pop in Castlevania 4. I can do that in an hour.
Sure.
You know, I can do Mario World 96 exits in like 4 hours if I'm really bored. You know, something like that. Just to be able to quantify repeat experiences and just know, like, if I do this and I get invested and I do it cover to cover, I'll be done. It's like when you go to the movies and you have like a movie showtime. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want to go at 9 because then we're going to get out at 11:30. So let's go to like the 8 o'clock one. So you know like what the run time is and you calculate like how that's going to affect the rest of your day.
Right. Also, Bionic Commando. Naturally. I was watching myself do my Let's Play of it from like 5 years ago, and I was like, I just want to play this game again. I love it so much. So Media Glitch, Joel says, I'd love to be able to speedrun The Revenge of Shinobi. That would be a fun one to watch. And Richard Raptor says, my uncle is amazing at Altered Beast. I think Altered Beast would be a really fun one to watch, like somebody be good at. Because I'm fine at the game, but I'm not great, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd love to watch somebody like be like exceptionally good. There's certain games that I think are so much fun to watch. It's like watching a Jackie Chan movie where I can't help but smile or laugh because I'm just like, I can't believe that this could be done, you know, in an extremely well played manner.
I'm trying to think if there's any other like Sega Genesis games.
Streets of Rage 2.
Call
Yeah,
of
but
Duty.
I don't really want to speed run Streets of Rage. That's like one of my favorite games. So I do like taking my time with it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a really cool run on Streets of Rage. Actually, I'm really proud of. I got the bad ending by myself.
What's the criteria for the bad ending?
You have to play 2 players, and you have to reach the last boss, and then you have to fight each other. And you kill the other player, and then you tell the boss that you don't want to be part of his gang. So, like, he asks you at the end of the game, he's like, "Do you want to join my gang?"
Oh,
If you both say if you say yes, he sends you back to like level 6. If you say no, you have to fight him. But if you're on 2 players, if one person says no and one person says yes, then you have to fight each other.
okay.
So I actually did that using a tank fight stick with 2 sticks and like one hand and controlled them both at the same time.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, I think I'm getting into this idea of like challenge. I know like for years now I've been saying like I don't want to speed run, like I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cool to just like know what you're capable of.
It could be fun if you have the
And if it becomes work, then don't do it, you know. But like,
And that brings up like the SGDQ maps in Mario Maker, where it's like it's just made for speed running.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool because it's like this whole community of people that's what they like doing.
Yeah.
And it's like a game specifically built for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really interesting.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Joel says he can do Altered Beast in under 10 minutes.
That's really good.
Impressive, because it's only 4 stages, but like if you optimize, because you got to get all the orbs, and then once you're powered up, you fight the boss. So if you can optimize that every time, it's probably pretty simple. I mean, theoretically, I can't do that.
Yeah, if you play it flawlessly, like I imagine that yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, there's only 2 records on speedrun.com for Revenge of Shinobi. You could submit literally any time and be number 3 in the world.
That's fair. And
He's got a weekend project, buddy.
Joel says, have you ever had bear sex in Altered Beast? Does anyone know what I'm saying?
I know that there's a bear power-up.
I do, yeah.
That when you crouch, he sticks his butt out. And the other one stands upright. So I imagine if you're co-op, you have one player crouch and the other person walk behind them.
Probably.
I could see that working.
Yeah. Did you ever play Altered Beast in the Game Boy Advance?
No.
It was fun. The biggest flaw was that like that was in the heyday of like not even the heyday because that was mid-90s, but they were still using like pre-rendered sprites that they were turning into game graphics, and so it didn't have like quite as tangible a feel. It wasn't like as hand drawn anyway. But there was like 20 different types of beasts you could be, from like sharks and eagles and like I don't know, all kinds of different things. It was just a bunch of different stages, all Altered Beast, but like totally different creatures.
Yeah.
And a super expansion of the game.
I always wanted to play the PS2 Altered Beast.
Fun. You wanted the what?
The PS2 Altered Beast?
Oh, that's right. I wanted to import that and I never got around to it.
Yeah.
Well,
I hear it's bad, but like...
still, yeah, who cares? All I heard Bionic Commando 2009 is bad. You know who's wrong? Anybody who said
world.
That? Yep, the world is wrong. That's it. Co-op, baby. Okay, so yeah, Joel confirmed that we were talking about the bear sex thing properly. Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
And now, I think it'd be fun to be really good. Actually, mechanically, I really like watching people who are good at the Metal Gear games, because once you, like, the games are hard. I think they're really difficult to play.
Mm-hmm.
But if you understand the parameter of just how the game's AI and functionality is programmed, you can do a lot of weird exploits to, like, enemy AI that makes it look super simple. Like, you understand their cone of vision, how they react to things, what they do, how to trick them. And watching people F with the AI in those games, I think, is extremely entertaining. Because I don't know how to do it. So when I watch somebody who's really good at just playing that game, I'm very impressed. And I think those would be fun to be good at, because I find them to be really difficult to play, other than number 5, which feels like the first good Metal Gear to really play. 4 is fine. 4 is pretty good, but 5 is... actually, like, the gameplay is so good that I just... The game structure isn't even that appealing to me. I just like playing it. Joel says, the Revenge of Shinobi, I die at least about 3 times every time I run through it. So at least 3 times, but how many at most?
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it under 10 lives, that's a great start.
Yep. If you can do it without continuing,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
counts
so-
for something.
Little goals. I like Mega Man 9 and 10 for setting goals like that for achievements. Beat the game without continuing, beat the game without dying, beat the game without getting hit, which I just have simply never gotten, and probably not going to happen. But very impressive that it's there and that people have done it. And I play those games a lot. I'm good at Mega Man, and I can't do that at all. I like the idea of people out there who are just way better at Mega Man than I am. That's handsome.
That's handsome.
It is.
It's a handsome quality to have.
Yeah, like it makes them like look attractive. I look at them and I get starry-eyed and
Starry-eyed.
yeah.
Instantly imagine them in a suit and tie.
Yeah, exactly. Ordering brisket. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what's a handsome meal.
It's a handsome meal for a handsome man.
Yeah, but like it's
Or woman, for that
lightly
matter.
peppered. A handsome woman, like she's got really nice hair.
Nicely groomed facial hair.
Yeah, she has a very nice mustache and beard.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Keep it close and tight.
yeah. If a woman can keep her goatee trimmed well, or has really good sideburns, I'm attracted to it.
It's super trimmed.
Yeah, so trimmed. Yeah, I like chicks with big sideburns, like Rusty Rhodes
Mm.
or Dusty Rhodes. Rusty or Dusty?
I think it's Dusty.
I think it's Dusty too.
Rusty.
Rusty Rhodes, Rocky Rhodes.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky. I like the Rocky
Oh, I love
Bullwinkles.
them.
Yeah. Do your impression of Rocky. He just sounds like a squirrel. I don't know. He doesn't have like a voice that. It just sounds like.
First of all, Rocky is a lady. It was a lady voice, and I think a lady squirrel.
Was Rocky a lady squirrel?
Yes, I believe. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. Because like I can't think of like how to do Rocky's voice very well at all. Because it's not like. It's
Can
like
you do like Sherman from Sherman and Peabody? Because it's just like that, but like raspier.
I can't. No, there's certain voices I will simply never be able to do. Okay, so Joel says he can beat it without continuing easy, naturally, but can do a flawless run. That's fair. That's fun.
It takes time and practice.
No, that's fun to get good at a game you love.
Yeah, my brother loves Blaster Master, and I remember him just like he would play it every weekend, like just because, not trying to get better at it, but it got to the point where he could do it without losing a life.
That's impressive.
And like that's a game that a lot of people struggle with, and he just had played it so much, it became so rote to him that, you know,
Yeah.
he's out of practice now. He might use like 2 lives, but he's still, especially older games that have like rigid movement rules.
Mm-hmm.
So Rocky is a male, by the way.
Rocky is a male.
Mario 2. That's actually a game that I feel like I can do pretty effortlessly because I've played it so much. And it was never 2 speedrun, but just I got to the point where that's what happened as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in that level, though, in that game, level 6-2, I believe. Do you remember Mario 2 pretty well?
Yeah, is this your block glitch thing that you found?
It's not the block glitch thing. No, that's a fun little like mess up. But this is a part where it's like a gigantic chasm and nothing but albatrosses like flying all across.
Yes.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And so I always choose the princess and play it pretty conservatively, jump on one and ride him all the way across the stage. Takes maybe like a minute, but I was watching a Luigi run of this where he would do something similar to, you know, jump, run, jump, jump, jump. And it seemed like the spacing for all of these was timed so perfectly that it was put there completely intentionally for the sake of somebody at Nintendo knowing that Luigi could make every one of these jumps perfectly. And maybe it was because that's how it works. And it blew my mind because I was watching a speed run some weeks back because I'm good at the game, but I wanted to know, you know, how can I get way better? And I was watching some of these thinking, geez, like that's far beyond what I've ever done. And I could do the game in like 20 minutes, no problem. And this was probably like down to like 14 or something. And it involved stuff like this that was just way faster and doing things way more purposefully that I never knew. And that impressed me a lot.
See, like something like that is like your time is 6 minutes worse than the world best. You know, like if you can hit a baseball 375 feet, that's really good.
Yeah, that's that's fair.
You're not going to hit a home run in the World Series, but you can hit a baseball really far.
That's true.
Like, I think there's something to be said for just getting that good.
This person knows you, Sullivan Beck.
Yep.
Hello. But I think that's fair. Actually, I never really thought about it like that, is that my time is actually pretty comparable. And maybe there's plenty of people out there who just have better times than me, which I know they do. But to be that close, actually, I never really thought about. And that is kind of...
Because like in speedrun terms, like 6 minutes is a long time. But in like normal human terms...
Yeah.
You can't like cook a pizza in 6 minutes.
If you get really good.
Like cooking a speedrun pizza?
Yeah. I used to speedrun movies. I got Forrest Gump down to like an hour and 20 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've been practicing on that one.
Forrest.
Yeah.
No, because it's interesting. Because now that you brought up speedrunning, and I saw how close my time was with Tides of Time to like the world record, it makes me want to like get that good, even though it's like the world record's like 39 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you can hit like 50 or 45, like
even that would
the more
be.
you can close that gap, the more incredible it becomes. Like it's already an accomplishment. I can't even beat that game. There's scores of people who like cannot finish that game.
Yeah.
You can do it, and you can do it well. And if you do it better, you're getting closer and closer to this like idealized play of Echo. You know.
Yeah.
No, considering I'm probably like 5th or 6th, according to like what's logged.
Sure. And that's really cool because what you can do is go there and watch these videos, and you can look at stuff and go, "Oh, I never knew to do that. I can do that and shave 10 minutes off."
Yeah, I can add that and save time.
That might be like too minute to really employ unless you practice billions of hours. But the thing is, watching speedruns has really helped me on a lot of things, just because it gives you the opportunity to be like, "Holy crap! I just never knew about this trick."
Yeah.
And then if you decide to practice the trick, then boom, suddenly you have a brand new weapon at your employ, and it's there and it's permanent. It becomes like a brand new feature. Mario World and Mario 3. I can do Mario's 2, 3, and World pretty quickly as a whole. Not world record, but at the same time, if I sat down and I watched some of these videos, I could probably find some tricks that would speed up my time exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the same with Echo, because I've never watched like any of the cheats for it.
Just put in a Game Genie and beat the game in like 20 minutes and have the world record.
Yep.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Nope, it's perfect. Actually, Papa John's Pizza has their oven, so a pizza's fully cooked in 425.
That's amazing.
That's kind of like pizza. Speedrun pizza. Yeah, they have the speedrunning down. What's it called? The new Wise Pies. Pizza place that opened up here, and it's a lot like Subway, because you just go up there and be like, I want a pizza with this, 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 and this, and they have like a whole bunch of stuff. Put your pizza on, have it through the conveyor going right through the oven, and then boom, like it's done quick. It's a very fast turnaround to get your meal.
Sounds really good.
I love spaghetti. Do you love? So, when Elle and I first started talking, the Nutty Brick. I love spaghetti. Do you love spaghetti? When Elle and I first started talking, we were actually talking about saucy Italians, and she drew a picture of an Italian man laying naked on a plate of spaghetti.
It's true.
Yeah, and we actually had the Olive Garden the other night, which is, by the way, way better than Furs.
Yeah. What if they had a buffet version of Olive Garden?
You did just salad.
I would.
Salad and breadsticks.
Well, they already have. That's already all you can eat.
That's exactly.
It's so good.
Yeah, I got their some chicken fritta with rigatoni, and it's with an Alfredo, and it was like a garlic Alfredo.
I got like an eggplant parmesan.
Yeah.
I could speed run eating chicken Olive Garden.
Sullivan Beck says, I worked at Little Caesars for like 2 weeks. It was awful.
Why?
LOL was it a picture of me. And yes, the Nutty Brick, it was actually you, the saucy Italian. We drew.
Yeah, he had perfect little buns.
He did. They were very, very round. Yeah. And
2 little meatballs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did have meatballs.
Yeah.
Not like on the plate there was meatballs.
Not meaty nards.
Ugh.
No?
Something you can really cut into.
Yeah.
As meatballs is really disgusting.
If you could have like the optimum meat nards, like what meat would you choose?
Andouille sausage.
That's a good choice. I was thinking like ground turkey.
Ew. That's disgusting.
What would you choose?
Filet mignon.
Oh, high class nards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't afford these nards.
Solon Beck says, my manager was literally an ex-con, and then right underneath says fresh from Italy from somebody else. So I like to think of these like juxtaposition to like, we're telling like 3-word stories or whatever.
Oh, I love those.
Mm-hmm.
I've read you some of mine. Those are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
Yep. Pretty good. Ooh, gosh. All right, so right on.
Hi.
If you could have any game come out next month, I don't know what kind of question this is.
Daniel X2, baby.
X2.
But for like the Vita.
Yeah.
So it has you can like rub his shoulders, on the
He's
back.
tense, just like, hey, it's all right,
Yeah,
man.
It's gonna
exactly.
be okay.
Because between levels, he gets stressed out. You have to like relax him.
Oh, you have to ask him the question we were talking about at the shop earlier with everyone about your
right.
belly button.
Okay, so orangutan steak is what was suggested. That would be. I have never really thought about eating meat from a monkey or an ape, and I think that would be. I would do it. I love apes so much.
You wouldn't eat like half the things at Furs, but you'll eat like monkey.
That's a testament to how good Furs is. I would rather
Really?
Where's the monkey?
I would rather eat raw gorilla chest. Yeah.
We left a pretty not aggressive.
A very honest Yelp review.
Yeah.
Nothing she said was false. But, okay, here's a question for you.
Yep.
Okay, so you have a belly button, right?
I do.
Okay.
Ninny.
Imagine it's a butthole. What?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Functional or decorative?
Functional.
Okay.
Okay, but it can be any shape you want.
Yeah.
I like that this took you by surprise, and this is your question that you wanted me to ask.
I know.
Okay. So you replace your belly button with a butthole of any shape that you like. So it's kind of like one of those little Play-Doh
Yeah, the Fun Factory.
Fun Factory. And it could be, so I chose the one that's like like the spaghetti or ground beef thing that comes out. You could use like a star or a diamond or a circle or a square or someone was going to choose the Triforce, but then we thought there's like a risk of there being like a little fleshy triangle in the center to separate it.
That's just like, there's just like a stack of triangle poop.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, like it might also.
I have to go get tissue.
It might tear.
Right, yeah, exactly. Just like come out, kind of like some sort of like a when you're carving a pumpkin, you're trying to do like a fine like eyeball, and like the eyeball just comes out because.
Yeah, you cut it too thin, and it's not. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'd be scared of that, but yeah. If you could have any shape for your belly button poop hole.
$.
It looks like bling.
Yeah.
One line or two. Because two, I think of like that's ritzier.
Yeah, but it's got to be a wider S, I think. Like if you have a skinny S and you try to put 2 lines on there,
So like
it's sloppy.
would be like the font essentially.
Yeah. Okay. An impact font $sign with 2 lines.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
What shape did you pick?
$sign.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Impact bold is the font we're using
Oh, I
for this.
started crying.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
Okay. Upside down Waluigi L. That's a really good choice too. Let's see.
Couldn't you just poop with a regular L and then like flip it?
Well,
This
yeah,
is
but
all
like,
very confusing for me.
but in terms of what you're showing to people, like, because like say like you're at like a competition.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's like the beard competitions.
Yeah, like
You show up and you flex your abs and you squeeze out a poop.
Exactly. Hold the microphone up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If there's anything I'd rather have than like intricate Bowser silhouette.
Because it's just like the Bowser, like the decal that I have on the back of my car. That's just like his face.
Yeah.
You could have like the Bubsy exclamation mark. But people might think it's like a Metal Gear exclamation mark.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
Brown.
Oh god, my eyes burn so bad from laugh crying.
Good. Good. That's the sign of true success.
Oh.
See, mine would be gingerbread man.
That's a good one.
It's hard to say. Okay, so that might be difficult. I mean, it would look like a piece of gingerbread, I guess, or a
I
gingerbread.
think it would just look like a stick figure.
That's the problem. Is like without it being decorated with like icing and like buttons and stuff, people.
Yeah, you really need to think of like a 2D shape.
Because it needs like a strong silhouette.
Yeah, a good profile. Your poop should have a good profile.
So, Sacula, would you ever Cleveland steamboat your mom? I've not thought about it, but I suppose it depends on the circumstance. Like, if the devil flew down from outer space and was like, do this or I'm going to burn your whole family, yeah, I'd probably do that.
You can talk it out and be like, look, like, it's...
The devil.
You might be able to negotiate with the dude.
You gotta be good at playing the fiddle.
That's true.
Fiddle?
I could make one out of poop
Okay.
and, like, hair.
Yeah, that's the shape of your belly button.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I get like a fiddle
violin.
shape of a little mini violin. Let's see, for $5.
You can get a sub for that.
Yeah. Well, the sub sandwich that I always get is like a little bit more because I get double meat.
That's a ripoff. They don't give you that much more meat. You should just get 2 subs at that point.
I always get the same comment, like every time I get a sub sandwich, like you basically just made pizza sandwich. Like, yeah.
I actually
Have you ever done the pizza toppings on the meatball sub? Because that's good.
That is good. I have done that, but I usually what I like to get is chicken breast with pepperoni and ranch on a sandwich, and it actually tastes super good.
So I usually just get like the American cheese pepperoni, and then just like drench it in vinaigrette.
That sounds good.
Yep.
But unfortunately, like the sandwich that I want costs more than $5. So yeah, I don't think
that's a hard no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your dad's sub marinara meatball from your pops. Well,
I put condiments on my meatball marinaras from Subway. I'll get one, and I'll have them put black olive, spinach, red onion.
Okay.
Which is the crispy, the crunchy kind of onion.
I like the red onion.
Not into that.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll either go ranch or honey mustard on top of that.
I'm a fan of creamy sriracha right now. That's like my jam.
See, I've always just liked vinaigrette, and I'm like stuck in my ways of vinaigrette.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Honey mustard is good though, and ranch is good.
I don't like any kind of mustard, like at all.
Not even Dijon?
No, I just hate mustard. All mustard.
I hate yellow mustard. I'd rather get shot in the stomach.
It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nutty Brick says, I have a question for all of you guys. Please answer with full detail.
Oh, I'm scared.
Okay. I'm in. Right. I'll try. There's no question that's too outrageous for us. Radon and I have discussed.
No.
I think literally everything, including this question. But not yet. We haven't discussed it yet, but we will have.
Yeah, we're like, hey, if someone asked us like a really nutty question and we had to answer it in full detail, like, would you do it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the lamest form of like the would you do it game. Hey, if someone asked you to do something, would you do it? Yeah, I'd do it. Oh my god.
Oh, guacamole on sandwiches is so good.
Guacamole. I actually don't prefer it when it's in guacamole form. I prefer just avocado. I know it's not radically different, but like there's a texture thing that I prefer as avocado.
Yeah, I can get that because you don't like mashed potatoes and stuff like that. But like that guacamole burger I had the other day,
that was good.
That was so good.
Also, Michael Redon, tres leches cake.
No.
Oh, that's right. Because 3 milks.
No, not that. I don't like the flavor.
No,
I don't like the
You
flavor.
don't like milk cake?
Well, no, there's a couple things.
3 milk cake.
Michael's allergic to milk like entirely.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, in terms of tres leches, you just don't care for the flavor, huh?
Do not like the flavor. No, I'm the same way with flan. Flan is like bad pudding.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, flan I can see.
I don't really like flan either.
For me, tres leches, though, I had some the other day. Like, just directly sucking on heavenly boobs.
See, what I don't get about tres leches cake is that it's called 3 milk cake, but it doesn't taste like milk. What's up with that? It should taste like triple milk.
Well, to me, it tastes
that
like...
would be terrible if it tasted like
if milk were good, that's what milk would taste like. Because milk, as I see it, I don't really care for it. Like, it's fine.
I prefer, like, rice or soy milk.
Mm-hmm.
I like a nice, like, the cold... Like, I used to put ice in my milk. I thought putting ice in my milk made it taste better. I think the colder you make your milk...
I agree with that. I think
the better it tastes.
Yeah, milk needs to be cold. If it's anywhere, like, away from being the coldest possible, aside from freezing.
Like, people who drink warm buttermilk have some kind of parasite, I think. Like, why would you do that?
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Nico says cheesecake is best cake.
Cheesecake is, yep, he's right. He's correct.
Though tonight, well, I guess it's not really cake, but we had key lime pie. That was...
Oh! You never had key lime cheesecake?
No, I have not.
Key lime cheesecake is delicious.
Oh, that sounds so good. Well, I only allow myself to eat key lime pie once a year because it's my favorite.
And you just burned it up?
And then I just eat the entire pie in one night.
Well, I have a proposition for you.
So, also, I don't know.
Key lime cheesecake is not key lime pie.
It's true. You get to cheat every 6 months. Yeah, exactly. You can do this. It's something.
That's exciting.
Plus, we just had key lime soda the other day.
That was really good when we went to Rudy's.
Over at Rudy's, yeah.
Oh, ribs.
Aaron actually just missed this. I have a question. If your belly button was your butthole, what shape would you want it to be? So, yeah, Aaron, I don't know if you were here or if you just got here or if you're just asking again, but it's always a pertinent question.
Yeah, we already had this.
Yeah, Michael Radon chose a dollar sign.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The Nutty Brick asks, would you flip your dad upside down, make him make him butt chug salsa and clap his butt cheeks, and then it squirts into your Tostitos scooper.
Do you have to eat the Tostitos scooper?
That's true, because you could just have him do that, and you could just leave it there for people to see. You know,
I want to tell you a quick story before I answer this question.
Okay, good. I'm excited.
It's going to be a short answer. This is a yes or no question.
Okay.
But I was talking to my dad on the phone today, and he was like, "You do a podcast, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You should link me to it sometime. I think you should put it on iTunes. You should be making some money. Like, maybe I can edit it for you. Like, let me, link me your podcast when you're doing it." So, Dad,
yeah,
I would totally flip you over, make you butt chug salsa, and squirt it in a Tostitos scooper. That is a yes for me.
That is a yes. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Easy.
I don't think I'm close enough with my dad to see that.
Okay, I'm trying to think. My dad, because he's probably 5'3".
10 points for creativity here.
Flip your dad upside down. Make him butt chug salsa. Clap his butt cheeks. Yeah. Because it's not going to take very long to do. And, my dad, I'm pretty sure he wipes pretty well. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot. There's the risk of, bodily sweat. But, at the very least, doing it on we didn't specify if we have to eat this. But if we're going to do this onto my Tostitos scooper.
What are the,
It sounds like a double dare game. Like, you have to fill the scooper.
Oh, yeah.
To move on to the next round.
Exactly. Then you get $100 for your family.
Yeah.
Just 100? I don't know if I want to see my dad's butt cheeks. I'm not.
I've seen my dad's butt cheeks. They look the same as every other Asian man's butt cheeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
With little kind of liver spots and wrinkles.
This guy's the best guy I know for anything would you rather. He's made me want to kill myself from the questions.
We've got some good ones. Yeah.
I want to bring back a Cyberzone classic, John.
Okay.
Have you explained to Elle? God, I can't remember the name of it.
X mode.
Match ball or volley match or.
Volley match?
Oh no, video. I don't think it's video ball because that's what Tim Rogers from Kotaku is doing. I'll have to see if I can find the email. I have an uncle.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
It's a really good story.
This is really good. So I'll give you the synopsis. I have an uncle who really wanted to make a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my uncle, God bless his soul, is 75 years old and absolutely crazy out of his mind.
Oh.
Okay? I'll show you a picture of him. He looks like an old Japanese guru at this point.
I love that.
Yeah. But he had this idea for a game, and I think it was called Video Ball. And his idea was he wanted it to be a matchmaking service for boys and girls. Okay? So, how you go to the tennis courts and you play tennis or whatever, and Susie's there, but Matthew's there, and maybe Susie talks to Matthew because they're playing tennis together. His idea was he wanted people to interact like this, except for Video Ball was essentially a turn-based tennis game that you play via email.
All right.
I have a whole design document that he sent me.
That sounds. I would not play it, but
Right, yeah,
I would be interested. I was going to say I'd be interested in watching someone else play.
No, you would not.
Then again, I thought about it more seriously, and I would not.
It's literally watching somebody answer an email. Yeah.
but you only get emailed you only get emails from people who are the gender you're interested in and as good at tennis as you are.
Yeah, but the thing is, as well, is if Susie is an A rank player and Matthew's a C rank player, the ball would come slower to him because he's not as good at the game. But when he hits the ball back, it would go faster because Susie's good. So I don't know if that just means she gets an email more quickly or she has to respond faster. I don't really know. It's really.
If you have to respond faster, I think that makes your answers more honest. Because when I'm doing panels.
But if you're really good at lying.
See, I'm really bad at lying, though.
Okay,
so if I'm in panels and someone asks me a question, I have to think fast.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll trip over my words.
Sure.
I'm terrible at public speaking.
Okay.
And I might say something like commoners, and I feel bad.
That's probably good to stay away from that. We have another question. Competitive streaming of email tennis game. I'd watch it. Yeah, on CNN Esports. Okay. Or your mom would shave her ass hairs and then flip her over, place all the pubes back into her butt, and lick her ass until your mouth is filled, and chew it like cotton candy that doesn't go away. So it doesn't dissolve. Do you just chew it forever until it
No. Mm-mm.
You wouldn't do that?
That
No.
sounds What is wrong?
Well, one of them involves like handling my mother's genitals, and the other one is pouring salsa into my dad's butt. Like,
Okay. Well, okay. Do you consider the ass genitals?
I don't. That is a business hole. It's not a pleasure hole.
Exactly. That's okay. So you're not really doing anything to her genitals. She's shaving the ass hair, and then you have to take all the pubes, put it into her bottom, and then lick it. So you're not really touching the genitals. You're touching the bottom and the bottom hole.
Then again, like, how hairy are usually female butts?
I don't think very.
No, I don't think they're very hairy based on, like, personal
Butt ownership?
I don't
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have, like, a hairy bottom. So
you chew like cotton candy, it doesn't go away. So does it dissolve ever? Or, like, would you literally be chewing this until you died?
Do you guys chew cotton candy, or you just put it on your tongue and like apply pressure until it
I've actually
dissolves?
never had cotton candy.
Let's have some sometime.
I hate cotton candy.
How do you know?
I just assume it looks disgusting to me.
It's kind of fun. Like, it says it's just sugar. Like, it's not exciting. It's literally just putting sugar in a different form on your tongue, and it just goes bleh, and it just disappears. It's kind of neat. I don't know. Like, it makes me sick if I have too much of it. So, like, a handful is probably enough.
I know. I guess the only memory I have of cotton candy was, like, a road trip with my brothers and got cotton candy and just compacted it into a ball and then just bit into it. And ever since then, cotton candy has just been the worst thing to me.
I learned a cool trick that makes me enjoy it as a toy more than a food, and it would be to take a gigantic thing of cotton candy, and if you spit, it just goes all the way through, like it's a ball of molten going through, like, anything.
You could just like rip into it with your fingers and just like tangle your hands in it and then just like eat. Like,
That's true,
That
yeah.
sounds so nasty.
sugar fist.
It is. You get all sugary and sticky, but, like, then you just wash your hands.
Yeah,
And it's like eating ribs, you know? Like, you get messy. Yeah,
I
really.
hate ribs. I hate ribs and I hate wings.
A turducken.
I have eaten a turducken. Not a whole one, but I have eaten turducken.
I don't know that I have, actually. So unless there's, like, some other Urban Dictionary definition of turducken
Yeah.
I'm aware of, yeah. I have not eaten turducken.
It's very good. If you like meat,
I do.
specifically bird meat.
I do.
I don't.
What about chicken?
See, I don't even really like chicken.
What about my curry chicken?
Oh, that was good. That was good. But I don't specifically like chicken. And I don't specifically like turkey. I like ham.
When did you have the Cubano sandwich?
Oh, I love Cubanos.
Oh, they're so good.
I like ham
Yeah.
and hamburgers. And that's about it.
Okay.
What
Okay.
about ham burger helper?
No thanks. It's poverty.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a duck you turd in? That you have a
Yes.
turducken. So, like the duck hunt duck. You probably turd in him.
Where do you turd in him, though? Is it like a cut in his stomach? Is it his bill? Is it his butt?
I would imagine, okay, so check this out. You know how they have webbed feet? You, like, cut a slit in the web, and you open it up so it's, like, two really, like, very flappy pieces. Like, yeah, like when you pull apart a napkin,
Oh.
and you poop in there, and then you sew it shut, and then you have, like, a big old, like, lumpy...
No.
Sorry.
No. Absolutely not.
Why?
That's awful. That's like you started that description with basically getting paper cuts between your fingers
Yeah,
Oh.
except for long way.
and then pooping in them.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you have, like, a big old, it's like a growth.
Ugh, ugh.
It's just poop,
It's
yeah.
just a turd.
It's just a turd. It's harmless.
We're all professionals.
It's a harmless turd.
A harmless turd inside your skin.
Living and growing.
It grows. The turd.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, poop comes from inside of you.
It does.
Add poop inside of you, it's just going to collect more poop.
The poop grows. Are
Yeah.
you adding on to that poop that's in there?
Yeah, if you are making a poop, it's like a pearl, right? It starts with a couple grains of sand
Right.
or calories in this case.
Mhm.
And you just pack more calories onto it like a katamari
Oh,
until it's yeah.
yes.
So if you just
It involves katamari.
Well,
'cause you love that game.
I like Tap. I'm still playing Tap My Katamari, but I've had to reset several times. It's a whole long story, but there's also a He-Man Tapper game too, where you just tap things to kill them, and then you summon all He-Man's
It's
friends.
literally the most pointless thing, but I don't know if he likes it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Who's the man with the green shirt and headset? Who are you? This is Michael Radon.
Yep.
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Ding, ding, ding. That's it. That's all the information you need to know. Back off.
Asacula, have you seen anything about Shadow Warrior 2? I don't think I've kept up with anything on Shadow Warrior 2. Truth be told.
I didn't know there was a Shadow Warrior too.
I know. I've been keeping up. What have I been keeping up with recently? I've sort of dropped out a little bit. I'm still keeping up with most things, but I'm not delving into all of it currently by just being so busy with everything that I got to do. So
No, I've kind of been the same way. Just trying to get everything ready for the convention and like print stores and trying to finish a costume in a day.
Yeah. Michael, you're so beautiful. I agree. You're one of those beautiful men that I know, Michael.
You're beautiful, it's true.
My body is a wonderland.
If James Blunt and John Mayer were here, who would win?
Is it a feat of strength? Is it a speed competition?
Who's faster at watching?
Is it blood sport?
Who's faster at watching Forrest Gump?
Yeah, who could watch Forrest Gump more quickly?
It's John Mayer and James Blunt.
Yeah.
James Blunt to me is the Matthew McConaughey of singer-songwriters. I feel like he just sort of meanders. Like he would pause a lot and be like, "I've been to Louisiana," and then turn it back on.
That's true. Yeah, he'd pause it. He'd really have like a lot of things to say. Yeah. And John Mayer, he'd probably just sort of be like looking at it
with like one hand, like only one handful of popcorn that he. Because some people like pick popcorn and like eat it one by one.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
It's like one handful and just sort of like picks at it with his mouth, but only one handful for the whole movie.
Private bowl, and then just kind of put my face in the bowl.
What about like the movie theater?
Self dates, when you just go alone, you can get like a popcorn bowl to yourself, and then just put your face in it.
We saw the Blair Witch, by the way.
Oh God, why did you take me?
Because it cost $0.
Right.
John took me to see Garfield, so I mean,
that's so much better.
It's really
that's infinitely better than the Blair Witch Project.
We do things. I also took Radon to see Jurassic World.
Yeah, we hated that.
I honestly, I did not like that movie.
We went to see the fifth Die Hard movie, and I fell asleep during the car chase.
I hate that. I hate when I'm looking forward to something, or even like just curious about something, and it ends up being just absolutely I don't care.
I've seen like articles like we're making Jurassic World 2 scarier with more animatronics.
I like animatronics.
Yeah. I just hope that there's like any decent human being in this next movie.
Yeah, even Chris Pratt I didn't care for, and I love that guy, and I watched this movie and I was like, your character means nothing to me.
I will say that I didn't like that Chris Pratt was in it, only because like Chris Pratt is exclusively something funny for me. It was similar to when like Guardians of the Galaxy came out. I was like, this isn't him.
Sure.
I need him to be like a goofy puppy in Parks and Rec, and that's all he'll ever be.
Yeah, he was not fun to watch in that movie. And then there was the kids who apparently their parents were getting a divorce, but they never talked about it at the end, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that they made up.
But see, I think that if they did, they're just doing it for the kids. They're like, these kids almost got eaten by a dinosaur, and if we get divorced now, it's going to crush them.
No,
so the parents are just like miserable.
That's true.
Yeah, that their kids don't go to a psych ward.
Or we could just be happy and think that they worked it out, you know? Like, man, we almost lost our children, and even if we did, at least we'd have each other to, like, mourn over the loss of our children.
But I think that's...
And at least we have each other.
That's too naive.
Well,
not that you're naive.
Ignorance is bliss, and I'd rather be happy.
Not that you're...
the Jurassic World ecosphere is so cynical that the assistant lady whose primary sin was that she was like slightly irritated that she had to watch two kids that she had nothing to do with, she got eaten alive by a dinosaur and dragged underwater.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
It's cool to watch things like that happen, but I felt as if I didn't care enough as to why.
She didn't deserve, like, in Jurassic Park, when people die in the first Jurassic Park movie, they usually have it coming. They usually, like, have some kind of character flaw that the audience has been exposed to.
Dennis Nedry is a shady guy who's trying to exploit the system and get off the island, and he shuts down the power, and he's, like, primarily what causes all this ruckus. He gets his due diligence by Dilophosaurus chomping him. You have Donald Gennaro, and, he's the shady lawyer, but he's still, somewhat antagonistic, and he's in it for the money. That's literally his only MO. T-Rex gets him. But, yeah, like, I don't think that any character in Jurassic World was even worth, like, thinking about.
I liked the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they were awesome.
A character.
They were awesome. But, like, even then, they irritated me because, like, the raptors that were being trained, like, they learned to speak to, like, the super dinosaur, and the super dinosaur was like, nope, you got to kill your human friends. So they're like, okay, we'll kill our human friends. And at the end, they're like, oh, I guess we shouldn't kill our human friends because he has a beard. And, like, I don't know exactly what happened.
He has a beard.
I guess, because, like, I couldn't understand what they were saying because they're dinosaurs. And then at the very end, the chick was like, well, I'm going to run and lure the T-Rex over here, and then the raptors are going to help me kill this, like, gigantic other super dinosaur, and then it's going to get eaten by the fish dinosaur who ate my assistant. I don't know. I don't think I understood anything in that movie.
I laughed a lot in that movie. Then again, I do that in, like, most movies that are supposed to be, like, really climactic. If something super serious happens, I usually just think it's really funny. And that's why, like, you can't ever take me to see a scary movie.
You need to meet Jason, because when Jason laughs, like, he gurgles. Like, his the most guttural, like, silly laugh you'll ever hear in any human being. And it sounds like, it's like a scream. It's like a primal.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. But we were watching in the movie theater 28 Days Later. And it's not a funny movie, but there's a scene where Cillian Murphy, he gets up and he's running through the city. He has no idea what's going on. He finally meets those people and goes in their apartment. And he's he's in his apartment shaving, and, like, it's really serious, and kind of like, he's finally getting a chance to relax and, taking his humanity and the gravity of what's going on. And he's taking his razor and he shaves and he cuts himself, and, like, it's like really like, oh, like, he's still human, he bleeds. And for some reason, that triggered Jason, and he just started screaming in the theater. And it's not a funny scene, but it didn't matter because Jason lost it, and he was just laughing and laughing.
No, I
and it's borderline embarrassing because he's the only human in the theater making a noise, and it's the wrong noise.
The wrong noise. No, I've done similar things.
It's terrific. So watching movies with him is pretty much my favorite thing ever.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
I find really serious movies, like, probably the most comedic. Like, I have a folder on my hard drive. It's just, like, funny movies, but half of them aren't meant to be funny
Schindler's
movies.
List.
Yeah, it's just, like...
That's the biggest
one. Nation.
The 30s, yeah, exactly. Oh, jeez. Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Shoot, man. This has been a good podcast. 2.5 hours so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, thanks, Sullivan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, would you guys rather butt chug hot dogs or corn on the cob? Corn on the cob for sure, because that's my favorite food.
Corn on the cob because it's textured and it would feel better.
Wait,
It
what
would
is
feel a lot better.
hot dogs or corn on the cob? Corn. I hate hot dogs because I don't like meat.
But ham is a meat.
And
I know, I like ham.
And ribs.
I like specific meats, though. It's not like a...
What if it was a ham, like a hot dog made out of ham? A ham dog.
And I don't like that.
it's fair. Yeah, she doesn't really like hot dogs. Hamburgers are good with.
Oh, I love hamburgers.
Mm-hmm. And ribs. Well, Rudy's ribs specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are good. Most meats I don't like. Hot dogs at the top of that list of foods that I don't like.
Butt chugged. I guess it's where you, like, I don't know if you intake it by, like, reverse farting or...
You can't pinch your sphincter to take a bite.
So you got to take the whole thing in one gulp?
Yep, yeah.
All right, a butt gulp.
That sounds just so uncomfortable.
Chorizo is a delicious meat.
Yeah, I do like chorizo.
Mm-hmm. I like chozo meat from Metro.
Mm. There's not a lot of meats I don't like. I'm not a big fan of most fish, but I also can't eat it. So
I hate fish.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of fish. Fish is
Win-win.
pretty much the only meat that I don't really do.
I don't like ribs or wings because of the difficulty rating. Like, I feel like the amount of effort you have to put in to get an adequate amount of meat
Okay, what kind of ribs are you eating? Because ribs are so easy to eat. Meat just falls
Okay,
off.
first of all, I don't have a bite that closes.
Okay, that makes sense then.
That's fair.
So like all I can do is like bite the bone and scrape the meat off. That's my best possible
You could
strategy.
like hold the bone and then get a knife and like kind of carve the meat out.
But see, if I'm doing that, I should just have a roast and I can just like carve a slice of roast.
Yeah, but it was on a rib bone. You're more of a savage that way.
That's more fun. More primal.
Fallout.
Do you guys like sushi? I'm actually not crazy about sushi. I don't eat most sushi unless
I
it's
like sushi.
shrimp or egg.
I do like tamago.
Tamago. Yeah.
I do like sushi when I can eat it. So if it's like a vegetable roll or like a cream cheese roll or something, like bring it on.
Cream cheese roll's good.
Yeah, I like cream cheese rolls.
Ronnie says, I like most other meats. I do not enjoy turkey. I do enjoy turkey. I like turkey sandwiches.
I like certain forms of turkey.
You know what my favorite is?
What?
Those little cracker packs that come with a cracker, a cheese, and a meat.
Like a Lunchable?
Well, but like the big skin ones that you put like at a party, like the little plastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a party tray.
Like a snack tray.
Yeah, exactly. A little party tray thing. I love those. I can eat those all day.
I like turkey if it's like ground turkey and then put in like pasta.
You like ground turkey?
That's really good. I like doing that.
I only like it if it's with pasta and then like covered in either like vodka sauce or like marinara. One of the two.
Sushi is best. Had it for my birthday the other day. So good. Oh yeah, Nico. Since I'm not on Facebook currently, happy birthday! Congratulations. What is your favorite fruit?
Ooh, pears.
Ooh,
Grapefruit.
I like limes. Limes, pears, and grapefruits.
Green things and grapefruits.
Yeah. I like limes.
I hate pears.
Really? Is it like because they're sandy?
Yeah. It's
I get that.
girl thing.
Yeah.
Potato, apparently. Sandy apple. That means pears are just potatoes.
Yeah, pretty much. Sweet potatoes.
Do I like Naruto? I never really watched it. I know Naruto believe it, and I know.
Ah.
Wow. I know a couple of the characters, but I don't really know anything about them. I know he runs like his arms are broken. Is the only thing that I know.
I do not enjoy Naruto.
I actually watched it for a while. It was like the last anime that I watched, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. So
Well, I don't watch a lot of anime to begin with, and the ones I do watch are really obscure. So it's not like Naruto is really on my list.
I just think I get intimidated by something that's so big. I feel as if if it were 30 episodes, I'd probably watch the whole thing. But if it's like 400 plus, which I'm sure is far more at this point, it becomes to the point of I can't even fathom getting invested in it.
No, I can see that. For a while, it was like One Piece seems very out there and just really random, and I thought I'd enjoy it, and then I saw how many episodes there were, and I didn't.
It's too much. And it sucks because like I played some of the Naruto games not knowing much about them, and I think they were like developed by CyberConnect, and they looked really great. They were a lot of fun to watch, and I think the idea sounds really cool. You know, Ninja Kid School or whatever. I think it's a really neat concept, but I think it's the intimidation factor of it being so long is really the only thing that ever stopped me. Because I like the idea of most anime, I just don't have the time to invest.
you need like anime cliff notes.
Yeah, I'll just go to Wikipedia and read the entire story arc. Or I'll just watch Alf.
What if there was an Alf anime? Would you watch that?
If there's an Alf anime, well, there is an Alf cartoon, which is,
I'm talking about a 900 episode, like 17 arc with filler Alf anime.
And 2 movies.
Yeah. And a Christmas special.
I would try.
And a Christmas special.
I would very much try. I even have a hard time watching the old Turtles cartoon, which I really love. But it's so many episodes that like it's hard.
Yeah, usually my cutoff is like, if this is more than 24 episodes, I'm probably not going to finish it.
Usually, yeah.
Unless it has more than one season, because then I might. It's like, this is 24 episodes for season 1.
Yeah, it can be
rough.
rough.
Then I will watch it.
But no, nothing against Naruto. Just never really sat down to watch it, and at this point, I think it's too late. It's too much for me. And the last anime that I actually sat down and really watched, I guess Madoka.
Have you ever played the Naruto game for the Xbox 360, Rise of a Ninja?
Yes.
Where it's like Grand Theft Auto, but you're Naruto?
Yes.
With really poor translations.
Why are you copywriting this right now? I would watch the hell out of an Alf anime with really poor translations.
Alf's mouth moves faster than the words.
Well, Alf is really big in Germany. Like, still, they still like. Actually, I think it's still on like syndicated like TV. And so, in Germany, like they're still watching it, and it's fully dubbed.
If you're watching Alf and you have a seizure because there's too many flashing colors, do you have alphalepsy?
Ooh, this is it. This is it. This is the pinnacle of our friendship.
I feel like really bad for getting the reaction I did.
This is it. I mean, like it doesn't improve from right here.
Yep.
Right on tapped into my core.
We're in the decline now.
Exactly. My milk.
In 10 years, we'll hate each other.
Exactly. I'm the chef anime.
Yeah.
What was that thing you showed me of like the cooking show where it's just like a dog?
Oh, Cooking with Dog. Have you ever watched that?
No.
It's a Japanese cooking show, and it's Cooking with the Dog. And my name is Francis. I am the dog. And it's just a dog that sits in a basket while the lady cooks. But it's Francis narrating the entire thing.
You can like barely understand what he's saying.
Yeah, because it's all completely like phonetically spoken Japanese in English.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Crack the egg into the bowl and stir for 20 minutes. Once you are done, please wait 14 minutes for the egg to settle. And it's so beautiful. And the dog is sitting in the background the whole time.
So cute.
It's really cute. Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's Cooking with Dog. It's worth watching. It's really worth putting it on the background while you do something. But it's charming and it's
good.
Yeah, while you cook something else though while you watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw everything off. An imbalance in the force.
You're not the boss of me, Francis.
Yeah, Francis. I think you're so tough.
I don't know. I kind of would think it was adorable if like Francis was actually my boss. He's like, good work today.
Yeah, he'd be a pretty good boss, I think. He's very fair. I've been listening to this whole time. I just wanted to say Hard Gay is great. A few hours late, but hearing Cooking helped me remember. Aw, Ramses. Yeah, he was watching in the background. Yeah, Hard Gay is a blast. And I'm glad that Cooking reminded... Because there's, episodes where Hard Gay, like, he does this thing where he's not just, like, explicitly, like... He's not gay. He just does really crazy sexual things in, like, these really strange gimp suits.
Yeah.
And, but, like, he does helpful things. So he'll, like, go to restaurants and try to help them get business, or he'll move, like, stuff out of the way, or he went to the playground and helped these kids, like, he made them food. He actually made them natto, which, by the way, is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he made it for them, and apparently it was good, because he even convinced a couple kids who didn't like it to like it.
There was a scene in the playground one that I remember where he would help them go down the slide.
Yep.
But he was, like, waiting at the end of the slide with his legs open.
Yeah. So it's... In North America, you would not get away with this without being arrested literally instantly.
Yeah.
But in Japan, like... I mean, he's, like, really a genuinely cool dude. So I'm very glad that he's not, like, crazy creepy, but it's something you could never get away with here no matter what, ever. Yeah. There's like a shot of him just on a slide, and the little girl's face is literally like 2 inches away from his leather-laden crotch. Yeah.
That sounds traumatizing.
But it's not
magical.
Because they're not doing anything like sexual. It's literally he's existing with these kids, and it just so happens to be like that's the proximity. But like, that's still like it's crazy risque, but there's no like intention of anything weird. So it becomes like a non-weird situation unless you look at it very objectively, which is pretty weird. So, yeah.
I can see it.
Yep. I can probably find the picture. Show it to you. It's good.
You always show me such interesting things.
There's a lot of interesting things to show you. Everybody. Well, all right. I think it's going to be that time to wind down a little bit. I thank you guys for joining us. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m., the Cyber Zone.
Mountain Time.
Mountain Time, yeah. We haven't done this for a while. We've been really busy the past couple weeks. Michael's been sick. I've had tons of stuff going on. We've just both been super busy, and it can be really difficult for us to do this every single time. But if you go to facebook.com/Cyberzone Podcast, you can check out to see if we're going to be streaming that evening, as we will announce it there. You can catch up on older episodes as well, too. And here at the YouTube channel, Sacula, you can watch a whole bunch of. I still need to put the old ones back into a playlist. But a lot of content just to put on for no reason. Sometimes it's really fun. Sometimes it's probably terrible. But we have a really good time just talking about literally anything. Having an active chat really, really helps. Because we'll talk about our own stuff. But if you guys interact with us, we'll just focus on doing that the entire time. And that's fine. So there you have it.
You wrote it. We watch it.
That's true. We'll watch any show that you write.
You watch us watch the chat.
You have to watch us look at your words. And so thank you, Elle, for joining us this evening.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure podcasting with you.
Yeah, and plug yourself a little bit.
My Facebook page is Eru Cosplay. No, it's not. That's my old page.
It's Elle Cosplay. Elle Graves Cosplay.
Elle Graves
right?
Cosplay.
Elle Graves Cosplay. ELLEGRAVES Cosplay on Facebook. You can buy prints. She's going to be at
Louisiana Comic Con.
Comic Con this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what are you going to be doing there?
I'm going to be doing a panel with Hayden Hazard on Sunday on props. And Saturday, I'm going to be standing for about 8 hours.
Okay, in costume.
In costume, talking to people.
Okay.
But mainly just standing.
And you've got prints. You have an Etsy. Do you have like a place? Like, where can people get your merchandise?
Well, currently my store envy is down.
Okay.
But as soon as it's back up, you can find it through the link on my Facebook page.
Okay, perfect.
Or DMing me on Instagram at L_Graves.
Okay. And you also have Instagram?
Yes. I just plugged that.
Is that what Instagram is?
Yes.
Is that where you take pictures?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have a Twitter?
I hate Twitter. No.
I have a Twitter and I hate it.
Well, I don't have things that I hate.
That's good. That's a good way to live your life.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. There it is. And you can join us as well, too, at the GA Retro community page on Facebook. You can go to our website, garetro.com, to get relinks to a bunch of different stuff, to our normal Facebook pages, our Twitch channel, which we're still in the middle of getting Twitch to be a more regular thing. You can go to Yelp. You can and say hi to us there and leave us reviews if you want to. Go to our Google pages. Yeah, I would recommend going to the community page on Facebook because we discuss a lot of stuff there. We share a lot of fun videos and articles, and we have fun discussions. And it's just a good place to hang out and, communize with people, become a communist. Joseph Stalin.
That's mainly what we do.
We actually just hang out with him. We do a lot of interviews with Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what we do on the community page. He's a really smart guy.
Put Stalin the end of this street. I'm sorry. I wanted to make it work, but
it
didn't.
The important thing is you tried.
That's true. It is important.
A for effort.
It was.
That is the marks of a good podcaster.
Are we just going philosophy at this point? Because otherwise, you guys are rolling my head like Plato.
I'm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We all deserve to die now.
Yeah, it's going to happen eventually. So
yeah,
it's been good.
We have it coming.
Been good living.
It's official.
All right. So sorry. But yes, check us out online, garetro.com, and go to all kinds of other places, such as Lemon Party and yahoo.com or Ask Jeeves. I don't even think that's around anymore.
Probably not. I remember asking him, it didn't work.
Yeah. He just Googles something for you.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Dear Jeeves, Google this for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. Definitely join us next time as I love the interaction. This is my favorite part, is just going back and forth with all these really weird conversations. We'll answer pretty much anything we can. So, okay. You guys have a good night. Until next time.
Honk honk.